Go.
Again, 5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
Everyone!
I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead.
We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized as in the prime and his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being... Oh, no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope...
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins. At my signal, unleash hell.
giant slayer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slayer Nation Live. I'm your host, George Molo, and it's November 24th, 2024 in the year of our Lord. It's good to be back. How are you all doing? Hey, Thomas, you made it. It's great to see you, my friend. We got Lucia is here, David Moore, D. What? So many amazing and brilliant people, and my camera, of course, acting up, but the new one is coming in, so just bear with me. You know, we have a great show for you today. I always say that every week because it's true. No, I think it is. We do something good here. But today, we have all the panel. You've already met them. And I was thinking about it. What are we really going to talk about today? You know, there's a lot of news every day. It's Hollywood, America, DC, movies, video games. But what does it all boil down to? Like, what was the election really about? And I was like, it's about cutting through the lies. It's about lies versus the truth. Getting back to a time when we live the truth. And I'm talking about, you know, when you had DC saying, hey, you think eggs are too expensive? No, the economy's booming. You just need to get a better job. Or you had Wall Street and Hollywood saying, go learn to code. Or Disney saying, this is a really great movie. We don't have an agenda. We just have a message. Or video games telling you, no, pronouns, they don't exist. It's just representation. Everything has been a lie. And where does it all lead to? It leads to exactly where we were for the last few years with this heavy pressing weight on top of us. And then a 3 weeks ago, all of a sudden, what happens? We started to breathe again. And it's a beautiful thing. So get your engine started and let's get going. Welcome, Slayer Nation. Let's bring them all out. Let's not waste any time. Paul Chatto's going to join us in a little bit. He just called me. We got the Angry Badger. We got DA, Verbal Riot. And coming soon, we're going to have a surprise guest for you. But first, Talitha comes in hot, gifting 10 Georgia Giants Slayer memberships. Thank you, Talitha. That is a really beautiful thing to do. You know what? We are now exactly 47 away from 500. 47! And we're going to hit it. You know, I'm obsessive about goals, so I like that. But everybody, go thank Talitha, and this is for her. Thank you. Hey, Calendar. Also, please go thank the mods. We got Olaf's in the house. Eric K, King of the Mods. Fletcher Williams is in the back producing. Let's get going. How you doing, Verbal?
Doing well, man. Doing very well. I caught Wicked yesterday, so
yeah, we're gonna talk about
surprisingly good movie, man.
Really? Okay. I have not.
I caught it too. I caught it too. And I'll just say, if you like musicals, you'll probably love it. If you don't like musicals, bring a pillow and a blanket.
Yeah, I do agree with that as well.
Pillow and a blanket,
movie, man. Yeah, it's a long one, man. I was struggling. I was struggling the entire time to keep my eyes open. But you know, if you like musicals, it seems like a well done, well produced musical. It looks very musical-ish. But yeah, I'm not into musicals like that.
I don't like musicals. There are only 4 musicals I've ever loved in my life. It was Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, and the 2 that I grew up with, which was My Fair Lady, because every time I was sick, the damn thing used to be on TV all the time, and Pirates of the Penzance. But after that, it's like, no, musicals aren't my thing. But
so you didn't like Grease, huh?
No, I love Grease. I never considered that for some reason as a kid. I know it's a musical. I just never considered it. You know, they still have the vinyl. Olivia Newton-John and Travolta. Come on. I used to put on the black and dance. Yeah, Grease Lightning. Of course, when you're a kid, you didn't realize that half the lyrics were vulgar as hell.
Right.
Like,
oh my God, dude. I watched that as an adult and I was like, wait, they were talking about gang banging and stuff like that. Like,
gang banging, boobs, vulgar. Oh my God. I'm like, how the hell? Yeah, you look at it back. It's like, I used to jump on my bed, you know, and go Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sing all the lyrics. I had no idea what the hell I was saying. And the funny thing is, my mom didn't catch it either. You know, you're sitting here talking about gangbanging. She's like, Georgia City.
We all had to know. They were very awkward, though. I'm so excited. Yeah. And I'm singing that with my grandparents on road trips. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's so I am planning to see Wicked tonight. The problem is like I'm a huge fan of Wizard of Oz, right? And I love Frank L. Baum's original book, which was changed in the movie. And I took my sister, girlfriends, family to see Wicked when it was in the theater.
Sure.
All the times, because my sister's a singer, sings like she loves Edith Piaf. She just goes crazy for it. The problem is it's funny. I think one of the things that held me back from jumping on to say yesterday is I saw that interview, which we're going to touch on. I saw these interviews, and I'm like, it's what sparked me to think, what are we going to really talk about today? Because, when you look at the news, what's underneath that? What does it all mean? And I don't like the fact that they have put out these interviews, which audience you're going to see in a little bit, where they were talking about how gay it is, right? And I'm like, why didn't you do this for the last month? Because I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I don't like the lie. It's the same way that Barbie, a day before it's released, they're going, oh, this is a feminist PhD manifesto. I don't care about that, but be honest.
I don't know why they do shit like that. It's funny to me because look, we're talking about a musical here. Of course, there's going to be gay people in a musical. It's that's what it is, right? So, and having watched the film, it wasn't like, you could tell some people were obviously, but it wasn't like overtly like they were going for, LGBTQ representation. It was just like it just happened to be there, but it wasn't like a part of the story. It had nothing to do with the story. It was just kind of there. So when people start promoting stupid things like that as, hey, this is a feature of the property, when it's really not. Right. It's called queer baiting, right? It's I
didn't know that.
It's last minute queer baiting because they're trying to get those last minute, resistant gays.
It's what Art from Variety does, right? Is it the gayest musical? Is it the gayest movie ever?
Do they really need to sell like gay people on this movie? That's kind of a weird thing. Like, I don't think you really need to go out of your way to try to really get the gay crowd to come and show up for Wicked. It makes no sense.
Seems like you got them by default.
You probably got them, yeah.
Steph, My Nerdy Home and Price of Reason both debated. Steph is a fan of the stage play and the books, and she said the only ideology in that is what is already in the books, and it was very faithful, and regardless of what they might have said on their press tour, it is really good if you like and it's the definition of not made for me. I'm very happy that they're happy, and it seems like it's just traditional progressivism, feminism.
But you know what though, the thing I do appreciate about this movie is the fact that, and just like the thing I appreciate about Barbie is that they knew what their audience were.
Correct.
Right? They didn't try to change it to make it more broader. It's like they knew exactly who their target audience were, and they are hitting their target audience, right? I just wish they would have the same respect for like Star Wars and the MCU and all these other things where, hey, guess what? The target audience are us, right? Not the LGBT community. Not saying that they can't enjoy it, but just like I enjoyed Barbie. I actually liked Barbie. I thought it was well made. I
it was faithful,
right? It wasn't targeted for me, but
I thought it was a Ken movie. I felt it was more of a Ken movie, but I see what you're saying. Let's bring in, he just arrived. Let's bring in the infamous, the one and only Paul Chato is here. How you doing? Oh, we can't hear you. Or are you doing that purpose?
They got him.
They got him. They're taking him out.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah. No, well, two things. Number one, it's a powered microphone, so if I don't turn on the phantom power, then
gotcha.
But I'm here. Nice to be infamous as opposed to outfamous.
Whoa, would you rather be infamous, notorious, or famous?
I'm coming out as
you are
outfamous.
Did you see Wicked?
No, and I'm not planning to.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. Good. Well, for me, I'll say this. It's the same way when we were talking Gladiator a couple of weeks ago. Gladiator 2, I mean. Like, if you enjoy something, I don't care if I don't like it or not. I won't rain on someone else's parade. I may not understand why the hell you like it, but I won't. But I think the number one reason I didn't want to see this, but still I'm going to do it, is I didn't like the way the author, in my view, made the Wizard of Oz a villain. And I don't know if that's true in the movie. I don't like that.
Price of Reason, his reason for not liking it is that it depicts him as wants to kill animals and this, and My whole view is, even if you watch and he also suggested that people might be confused, thinking this is some sort of like a real sequel as opposed to what it is, the spinoff. He was always a charlatan. Maybe not a villain, but right, like the wizard. He was pretending to be the great and powerful, but he was just a dude.
Wasn't he like Barnum and Bailey though? More kind of like a showman.
Like that, yeah.
He was a snake oil salesman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a villain, right? It's a showman. Anyway, what I wanted to discuss is lies. How we've come back, or at least I think a message was sent that it's time to get rid of lies. Get to a point of truth. And we're going to go from politics to Hollywood, how they've shaped everything. So we all know Trump's been making his nominations, that he wants for his posts. He just completed them last night. And Elon Musk has been going around talking about what him and Vivek are going to be doing. So they put this out, and Musk responded, which I thought was beautiful. This is the CEO of National Public Radio. When I heard this, listen for yourself. You tell me what you think.
But one of the most significant differences, critical for moving from polarization to productivity, is that the Wikipedians who write these articles aren't actually focused on finding the truth. They're working for something that's a little bit more attainable, which is the best of what we can know right now. And after 7 years there, I actually believe that they're onto something. That for our most tricky disagreements, seeking the truth and seeking to convince others of the truth isn't necessarily the best place to start. In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus.
Truth, a distraction.
That's terrible.
That's some heavy propaganda there.
Right.
Truth brings about consensus. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Absolutely. That's why I say it's important. How much damage has been done by lie?
Do you know who Graham Hancock is? He's okay. Well, he can't even touch his Wikipedia page, and he's called a fascist and a white supremacist. All these disgusting things. Yeah. Truth. Where's the truth in that?
It's like, didn't Canada? Y'all just had a couple of protests over there.
A few.
And I've been listening to both sides, and it seems that you have one side who's been, how will I put it, gaslit into thinking that that's okay, everything that they're doing. Like, everything is on the table as long as they get their way. Again, someone feeding a lie feeds a mob, the mob goes out, the mob does whatever they want, and then they get upset when they're stopped. How have you seen that take place in Canada? Like, are you hearing anything, or like, are people?
Well, Canada's kind of fallen apart. But Dustin Trudeau has kind of abdicated his spot, I think, partly through boredom, partly through the fact that he is genuinely hated by, I think, the majority of Canadians now. I mean, that just happens with any kind of politician who's outlived their time. But it's very much exacerbated by the fact that we have massively upped the immigration level, for good or for bad, specifically from a specific following, let's say. And now we're then with the war in the Middle East, we're now getting almost weekly, daily pro-Hamas protests. And then in Montreal, we had the NATO riot, and things are out of control, and nobody is willing in Canada to take control. Now, initially, part of the plot of when you're dealing with mobs like this is you let them let them do their thing, blow off steam, and stuff will burn out. Pardon me? And stuff will burn out on its own. The problem is that these are anti-globalists, anti-Jewish, anti-West, anti-America supporters. So this has been transmogrified into a bigger war, a bigger battle that has really nothing to do with the Middle East at all. And the politicians are not willing to step up and do anything. And so when you leave them alone, you're emboldening the twits and assholes, and that's now who are going up and down the street. We had a woman who was yelling in a keffia with Hitler or Nazi salute, death to Jews, and then she turned out to be the owner of a coffee shop in the Jewish hospital in Montreal.
Oh my God.
So now, to all credit to the company that manages that franchise, they killed her franchise. They said, "But you're gone."
Wow.
So, but that kind of bravery is not really evident here in Canada. Most of the tolerant voices are actually on X, which I am no longer a member of.
Oh.
But I do peek in on with my old thing. Yeah, it's crazy. And then there's the whole this coup de grace was the video of Trudeau dancing to Taylor Swift while Montreal burned.
Of course, and he's going up for what, his 4th term now, which he should be out.
Real let them eat cake moment.
Yeah, yeah, the let them eat cake moment. So our election, mandatory election, is October next year. He's going to be gone. Like, there's just no way.
Thank God.
But in the meantime, he's just going to let Canada burn. I mean, I can give you a half a dozen examples of the stupid shit that's going on.
Yeah, I've been watching it. That's why I'm really excited about what is coming up here for America. I hope some of that ripples through. You know, when you see the changes, like Javier Milei, we saw him as soon as a lot of people made fun of him, but as soon as he took office, he kept his word. He started just slashing the offices. No,
he went on Lex Friedman's podcast for 3 hours. Oh boy, is that guy smart.
He is smart. Oh, you can't trip him up. So I think with Javier, with Trump, and if that works, I mean, I guess people are timid, politicians are timid, but if they see results, because the big problem that has crept apart from eviscerating manufacturing and having whole swaths of people not doing stuff with their hands, doing physical labor that's actually results in products and services that we need. Apart from that, the sneaky stuff on the left is that they have managed to move the bureaucracy out of government into schools, a greater bureaucratization of businesses through DEI, and now even the public is becoming bureaucratized. That is actually the secret disease. That is the cholesterol in the arteries that has snuck up on society, is the complete bureaucratization, where we're not even allowed to take responsibility for our own actions. Look at the UK.
Oh, the UK,
where you can kill 2 kids or a bunch of kids in some town, but heaven help you if you mention the religion of the people, the perpetrators. Then you go to jail for 3 years.
Horrible.
This is the bureaucracy has now spread to the public. This is an observation I've made of late, and this is the secret dirty trick.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Paul. That's why, again, like what Vivek has proposed, along with Musk, they were asking him, and I wish they would actually go harder. They've talked a lot about, we're just going to slash spending here. No, annihilate the agencies, get rid of them. Milei did it. That's why I brought him up.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Get rid of what you can get rid of.
Yep.
Entire agencies, like President Trump has talked about the Department of Education, for example. Are you going to be closing down departments?
We expect mass reductions. We expect certain agencies to be deleted outright. We expect mass reductions in force in areas of the federal government that are bloated. We expect massive cuts among federal contractors and others who are overbilling the federal government. So yes, we expect all of the above. And I think people will be surprised by, how quickly we're able to move with some of those changes, given the legal backdrop the Supreme Court has given us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Look what happens, guys, when the lies keep perpetuating. Again, we're going to get to Hollywood, but we can see step by step by step. This individual came out the other day. Unbelievable. And what they had to say, I'm surprised they haven't been banned. I'll put it kindly.
Oh boy.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay, this is a call to action.
Don't rope everybody into your
You need to arm up.
psychosis, man. Leave
Plain
the
and simple.
LGB
Go
out of it.
buy a gun. Learn
Yeah.
how to use it efficiently, through and through, because
we have more range
the
time.
time to act is now. You need to protect yourself, and you need to protect your fellow.
So it goes on for a bit. We don't need to watch anymore.
He was right about
Say,
fellow.
What Paul said is actually, this is my great prediction. We're seeing a lot of companies, right? They're going to start course correcting and cleaning their room before dad gets into office. What you're going to see also is the L, G, and the B finally speaking up and separating from that T, which has completely regressed their movements by about 2 decades.
Well,
created homophobia and all the things they're scheduled. So yeah.
Yeah,
The
like
L, G,
that's
and
the
B.
part of the whole situation that has gone off the rails, because seriously, like they talked about the reason Biden got elected in 2020 is because it was going to be a quote unquote return to normalcy. We weren't going to get all of this political backbiting and divisive rhetoric and all of that kind of stuff. Look what happens when this guy got into office. You get more of this shit. This is what we got. All right. We got a lot of transgenders in kids sports. We got them, trying to take over women's spaces. You saw that escalate. And I think the people that voted for Biden, that turned around and voted for Trump this time, they said, oh, hell no. We see what your idea of normalcy is. We want to return to the normalcy before your normalcy, because this shit ain't
normal, not that new normal shit you tried to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like look, crime is up. They've been gaslighting us this entire time. Crime is up. The border is out of control. All right. Transgenders in kids' school, they said, oh, inflation is just transitory and the price of eggs and everything is going to go back down, and gas and everything don't work. No. See, everybody saw through the bullshit after 4 years of our lived experience of dealing with your bullshit. That's where everybody said, nope, we're done. Okay, we gave it a try. You guys got in and look what you did. So, nope, we're done with this crap. We're out of here. And we're going back to some real normalcy where my daughter isn't going to be threatened by some man walking into a girl's locker room. Okay, that's ridiculous. Like that's the shit that this what you just showed, George, is the reason why people voted for Trump. Let's get back to some regular, ordinary American life, okay, and not 100%. This bullshit where it's ridiculous, man.
But my thing about this is this. I think with Trump getting elected, right? I keep saying this. I think with Trump getting elected, it's giving companies, studios, it's giving people an out, right? Yep. It's giving them a way out. I get it. Corporations are cowards, and under Biden, and his administration, they adapted to that. You see what I'm saying? Trump is giving these people a way out now. It's like saying, hey, I won by a lot. The culture is changing now. Like you guys don't have to keep doing this anymore, right?
Look at Bill Maher. Look at him speaking out more. Like,
all of a sudden, these people have balls, right? All of a sudden, they're speaking truth, right? Yeah, because Trump won.
Yeah,
I guarantee you. What is it? June, Pride Month is going to be very different for corporations this year.
It was already different last year, right?
You're not going to see all these men in dresses getting, being awarded for Women of the Year and shit like that. Like a lot of things are going to change because of Trump winning. So I feel like the culture is going to change, but the thing that scares me, and the thing that I do have a problem with this, even though corporations are cowards, they're not going to go down easy either. Like there are some people in power who are not going to like what Trump is doing. They're gonna fight it in some pretty dirty ways, man. And I feel like we haven't even gotten to the dirt yet. Like we haven't gotten into the dirt yet. Like
they're still in denial. When he gets into the office, it's gonna get so fucking worse, and we're gonna get a form never seen before. But we just have to be the adults in the room and not let it happen like we did before.
And I keep saying we're in the liberals are in the 5 stages of grief right now, and right now they're in denial. Well, denial and anger, but soon it's just going to be full-fledged anger. And
it is.
And after January, once Trump is put in office, that's when the shit is going to really hit the fan.
Well, they are, because they're going to be coming out. They've already talked about mounting their resistance. You already have lobbyist groups who are bringing, big ag together. They're bringing the medical industry. Yeah, they say they're going to target Robert F. Kennedy Jr. How are we going to limit his ability to make America healthy again? How are we going to limit the ability to make America great again? They just want everything to continue going. But again, what do the lies accomplish? We're going to get to it. I want to read the super chats first because I think there are a couple of questions. It's the Phobos, my good friend. One of the best names around. For $2. When do you announce member streams? Missed the last one. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on my YouTube community page for Georgia Giant Slayer and then on Twitter. But we are going to have another one, I believe, this Wednesday and Thursday because it's Turkey Day for everybody in the U.S. It's for Happy Thanksgiving is coming up, so I will have a special one.
Ooh, those conversations are going to be wild this year.
Oh, believe me, you all know that you have relatives that come. You always have, Hollywood will say you got that crazy MAGA uncle who's joining you. You know, they always put out that list in USA Today, how to deal with a MAGA nut or da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Well, I had a cousin who's going to be coming in who was conservative, then went to university, then became a radical leftist. So I can't wait to go. Would you like some pie with that loss? Love you. Because I'm not always very humble. No, I'm not. Thank you, Eric A. Gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. What a beautiful thing. Thank you, Eric A. God bless you for the king of the mods. Please, everybody, go thank him. And Red French Moon for €2. Wikipedia's propaganda anyway. Some say deep state. You know, I never heard that. I like that. Deep state. I can see it.
Because they don't let you change and it'll like instantly things will be edited.
Yeah, I once wanted to create a Wikipedia style site called Famous Hamish.
So remind me again, who's allowed to make these changes on Wikipedia?
There's set editors, but then it's like, I think it also goes based on how like donations, but really there's set editors for each one and set moderators. So it says anyone can do it, but then you can be overridden by any one of these moderators. And it's very similar. I know it's stupid what happened to Star Wars and their Wikipedia, where it's like, it used to be really accurate. And then the moment a book comes out where Luke is non-binary, one of those captured moderators goes and changes it. And anyone that changes it back gets overruled, and just extrapolate that by captured ideology in the real world. And
Wikipedia is a complete mess. You even take the definition of Nakba, where they don't even include the name of the individual who coined the word, because it actually goes against the narrative of their 30-page document.
Gotcha. Wow. It's crazy. It's propaganda everywhere. But look at what those lies do. Terrible. But those lies give people the ability to justify their own delusions or their own fanaticism.
Yes.
I can't stand lies. You know, we need to get back to having to make character great again, to make truth great again, to make honor great again. I was talking about honor the other day and someone was like, what the hell is that? I'm like, honor, honor. That means it may not always, when you have honor, you may not always find the right answer solution, but you always try to do the right thing.
Doing the right thing.
But the problem with that word truth, man, is the fact, it's been so twisted, right? Yeah. Ever since we started using the term your truth, the actual truth has become completely just diluted.
I'm talking about the social contract, the truths we know, the basic ones. Like right now, depending where you are in the US or in Canada, if you look outside your window, it's daytime. That means the sun. That's a truth. That's a fact. Disputing that, with your personal truth, going, well, actually,
your camera keeps breaking. That is a truth. That is
yes,
undeniable truth.
It is. And I'm still here. It hasn't.
Well, there was that unhinged woman in Congress or whatever.
Which one?
Who talked about slavery? Right. The most recently, she just
Jasmine Crockett.
Oh my God! Clearly, she's suffering with that $300 hairdo and the gold earrings, Prada earrings. She is clearly a sufferer of the past. I mean, and so she is presenting a truth, and to people who want to believe her, I think what is missing, maybe more than anything, is that a lot of people in school are not being taught how to figure out whether someone is telling the truth or not. That's
thinking.
the problem.
Because you got to
Yeah,
start
they're
with
being
facts
taught what
first.
to think, not
They're
how
taught
to think.
what to think and not how to think.
George
And
Carlin, that's exactly right. We should be taught to question things and
question
not how,
everything.
right, and they don't do
Well,
that.
even if someone says it's the truth,
Yeah.
you know, question it. There's nothing wrong with it. And then the other person should not run away and block you just because you've chosen to ask a few questions.
Critical
And so
thinking.
What pisses me off about Jasmine Crockett and anybody that uses that argument is that every racial group has been discriminated or oppressed at some point in time in the world's human history, you know, but only one group seems to constantly make a habit of crying about it. All right. I'm sick and tired of that crap. Stop crying about it. All right. We get, you know, I understand we've all got to go through certain things, but at some point in time, we got to move on. All right. At some point in time, we got to go to the next level because playing victim for the rest of your life is not going to get it done. You know, nobody's going to continue to, oh, poor little black people. They've been oppressed. Nobody's going to keep going for that crap. Okay. People are just like, whatever. These people want to stay victims. Let them be victims. We're moving on with our lives. And that's the problem. That's what she's holding back so much of the potential in the black community because her and other politicians like her keep promoting that bullshit. I'm so sick and tired of it. Own your life, own yourself, make something out of it. You have an opportunity right now. Get after it and quit crying. That's what we need to hear. That's the message of the politician. At least that's what it should be.
But the only black people who are speaking out against stuff like that or speaking about things like this are basically black politicians or figureheads.
Larry Elder, the white.
Well, no. I'm not talking about speaking against. I'm talking about people who are promoting this.
Oh yeah.
These are the people who are. These are black people who are bought and paid for.
Oh yeah.
By white liberals. That's who are the ones promoting this. Because I guarantee you, most black people. I look. I'm not saying I know every black person because obviously I don't. But I can tell you, as a whole, this isn't something we talk about on even a regular basis. We don't talk about race. We don't talk about us being black. It's not something that is. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're proud to be black. That's fine. But it's not something that is on our minds day in and day out, the way these people are trying to make it sound, man. And the black people who are promoting this are the ones who are bought and paid for.
Well, look what happened on that MSNBC thing where the one guy mentioned the George Floyd effect, where police stopped policing. And the panel of the black panel went absolutely ape shit over the idea that somehow that is an actual thing. And it was on CNN. And CNN actually wrote a whole article on this whole, I don't know if you saw the clip, but it was an amazing.
It's a thing though.
Yeah, it is a thing, but the panel didn't want to believe it. Like, it's not good for them to accept the fact that there's actions and reactions.
Because they want division. They want division. They want division. That's the goal.
Of course. Division is how you
maintain power.
Yeah, maintain power.
People. Well, just look at this. Eric K sent this to me earlier. What's happening to these girls?
We weren't allowed to wear this shirt at practice. The girls wore shirts that they're wearing right now that the front says Save Girls Sports. And then on the back of the shirt, it says it's common sense. XX does not equal XY. And so the girls wore these shirts to a cross-country practice. And the same athletic director that had displaced Taylor on the girls' varsity team told the girls that they needed to remove their shirts or hide the messaging on their shirts. And when the girls very respectfully asked, why do we need to change our shirts? What's wrong with the messages? The athletic director told the girls that their shirts, the messages on their shirts created a hostile environment. And
a hostile environment.
Yeah, not the gender or body dysmorphia people that we all have to pretend is something that's not true. That's not creating the hostile environment. It's these girls acknowledging basic reality.
Well, have you seen a video of all the replies and all the threats that Nancy Mace has gotten since he made that claim?
I haven't
about
seen it.
Oh, I watched it this morning on X. There's a whole compilation video of just all the death threats she's gotten, all of the horrible like names that they're calling her, all kind of crazy stuff. And I love the fact though that this woman is not backing down, man. Nope. Like Nancy Mace she's a badass.
She got a spine.
She has a spine, and she's not backing down.
If you have
That's
that
what we
link, send
need.
it to me in the private chat so we can.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
4 years of calling us all the worst things that means nothing to everyone. And now that we see that there's a large group, that there are more of us than them, oh, baby, the hopium is good. I'm ODing on white pills lately.
Okay, for $5, Graham Hancock, the fascist Yahtzee who is married to a black lady. Laughed my ass off. These people are idiots. They are. But see, they've been exposed. That's one of my favorite things is that they got unmasked again. Thank you, Eric K. And we got Graph Web for $2. He is back, the most passionate man on YouTube. In the name of all that is holy, cancel Disney Plus. Amen. I know there are people who still love theirs. I don't have a problem with that, but I really love Graph Web's passion. Eric K for another $2. Get rid of every 3-letter agency. Oh, yeah.
They say there's over 600. There's like 650, and they may not even be sure exactly if that's the final count.
Could you imagine that where they're not sure? The other day it came out that Biden wanted to send, I think it was another 40 billion. No, he wanted to send another 200 million to the World Health Organization and the UN after they lost anywhere from 24 to 40 billion dollars in their climate change account. They're like, well, we don't know where it is. It just disappeared.
The Jews took it. Just want you to know.
Those damn aliens.
Why? Blitzen gifted 10 Georgia Giant Slayer membership. Way to go, Blitzen. Please, everybody go thank Blitzen. That is, we're getting there. We're slowly
Can I say in terms of what they're trying to do with Doge?
Yeah.
People talk about all this big stuff, which you just mentioned just now, but both Canada, United States, and probably the EU are actually, we're dying from a million small cuts. Right.
Yeah.
That's really what no one talks about. I did a video on the Canada's Department of Social Science and Humanities Research Council of Canada, or as we also say, Conseil de recherche en sciences humaines du Canada. Just so you know, I do have to always include the French version whenever I say the English one, or we get arrested and we get put in jail for life in Canada.
Wow.
But we are, for instance, someone got for gender politics in Peruvian rock music. They got that took $40,000 of tax money. Another program working towards a gender inclusive and intersectional piano curriculum that was $17,500. Dead pets and transidents of species divides in experimental art making practice. That was $70,000.
It's one big tit. And we're all fighting to get a suckle, but unfortunately, everything needs to be cut off.
So everything. The entire social group. Hold on, let me one more thing. This one's good. Actually, this is worth it. Research in playing for pleasure, the effective experience of sexual and erotic video games. That was $50,000 of tax.
Never got past 38 seconds in that study.
That was useful. So, but there's a million of these.
I know, Paul, but we have the same thing here last week.
That's what I'm saying.
An article came out about the giving examples of the things that Doge was going to go after, right? This I never heard of before. The United States government, meaning the taxpayers, spent $1 million to find out if a swallow is more impacted by vodka or tequila.
Wow.
For a second, I thought you meant the bird.
Yeah, no, the bird.
Because if you don't swallow,
what the hell does that have to do with anything? Anyway, we'll pick this back up. Blitzen, thank you for that. This is for you. Thank you so much, my friend.
By the way, George, I put the link of the Nancy Mace compilation in the private chat.
We'll play it in a little bit. And then Mexican Iron Man is here with $10. Our intrepid producer. I miss him. Since Paul is from Canada and DA and Verbal from LA, I nominate them to stand guards at the bathroom. To stand at the bathroom to protect trans rights.
Stand guards are a very different thing.
Oh, they could be sand guards and stand guards.
Here's the thing, man. There's nothing we can do as men. This has to be a woman fought battle. I think women have to take that final stand, dude. The way they burned their bras in the 60s and shit.
Have you had this experience?
Women need to, take their stand, man. Like, there's nothing we can say or do because we're the phobes, right?
I need to be asked. So I was at a movie theater and there was a pretty girl going towards the bathroom. I'm going towards the men's room, and one of them, what I believe was a man to woman, walked into the woman's bathroom ahead, and the girl stopped and went like, looked around, and I looked at it. I'm like,
See, I
can't
think
do
we have to,
anything.
I think we have to stand with them, though. I think we have to battle this because
We
there's
need
too
permission.
much. See, I don't think we need permission for that. I don't. We got.
I don't want to
somebody
go
has
be
to step
arrested.
out.
You know what
No,
I'm saying? Like, I
George,
need
we do need
from
permission,
them.
man. I'm telling you right now, because there's still a lot of women who will defend this shit.
Yeah.
So what
Come
I'm
on,
saying is
Jay.
they have to take their stand.
In
Jay?
California, it's against the law to stop that dude from going in the
Yes.
women's washroom.
That's
get
the
arrested
problem.
for
That's
helping
the
the
problem right there.
But who votes for this shit? Remember, who votes for this crap? That's where it got. You got to start there. Okay, you got to start with the people that are putting these laws into power. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did in Cali. We did. We totally voted for that shit. So I didn't personally, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
No, I know.
As long as you got this woke push, and these people are gonna defend it to their last breath, you know, you kind of have to just let it, just let them sink. You know, that's just
very hard.
But as soon as 3 or 4 women go, "Hey, man, what?" and then turns into a thing. Well, guess what? Guess who shows up? The real men. All of a sudden, like, all right, let's go.
Look at
And
the
then what,
volleyball
cops
thing.
Going to arrest all of us?
How long is it going to take for the volleyball thing to finally sort itself out?
Yeah,
like they're fighting tooth and nail to let that guy play. Like,
Right, but it's
what
happening,
is
Paul.
wrong with hate? Why do all these people hate women? Why do all these mothers hate their girls? I don't get it.
Weaponized compassion, and it's a
Yes.
weird like reverse Munchausen proxy
Yes.
thing of like, look at my special gay trans child. Look how tolerant and awesome, like a puppy. It's why all the Hollywoods all of a sudden have trans kids. Isn't that
suddenly.
a miracle?
Yeah,
I
like
think it gives them
all of a
privilege.
sudden, they all have trans kids. All of a sudden.
Crazy.
Because I think it gives them privilege.
It's fashionable.
Yeah, it's an accessory. They think, though, it gives them. There was a very good debate about that 4 months ago. And there's an attorney who's been fighting this, a female attorney in California. And this question was asked, why is it suddenly so popular among the Hollywood glitterati? And she says it's very simple. It gives them special access. Nothing to do with the kid. It gives them like they feel like they
George,
got
it's real talk. That's real talk.
And amongst
definitely gives them
girls,
access.
young girls, teen girls, it is a social contagion 100%.
Yeah.
100%. This is what I forgot she was on Rogue, and she's of course banned from X from at the time you weren't allowed to talk about gender or anything like that. But like, yeah.
Paglia said it 15 years ago that this was going to be the biggest social contagion. Camille Paglia, who I
brilliant
dearly
woman.
love.
I do. I don't agree with all her opinions, but she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
She's brilliant. But the litmus test for all of this is that the trans activist movement does not believe in quid pro quo.
Oh, no.
They are interested in only their interest. They're a selfish bunch.
Yeah.
This is something nobody talks about. And the thing is, they're not interested, let's say, in a third washroom because their psychopathy requires constant confirmation.
Yeah.
In the case that they're women, the guys with autogynephilia that believe they're women aren't interested in a third washroom.
Yeah, you know why that
They
is,
want to
right?
go into the women's washroom because every moment in their life has to be a confirmation of their psychopathy.
Well, and even that, there's a huge difference between someone with body and gender dysmorphia and someone with autogynephilia who's literally getting off on dressing like a woman.
Yes.
And those are the ones I would suggest are the more hazardous and the more prevalent of all of them.
Yeah, I have a friend who actually is trans. He phoned me about 5 years ago. I haven't talked with him since because I wasn't sympathetic enough. But he collapsed in tears because at a Starbucks, a 3-year-old boy called him sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's obvious even to children.
Yes, because he's actually not a very attractive woman. I'm sorry to
So
say.
that's the unspoken rule. If you're passing, we're a lot more forgiving to the idea that you have gender.
And
I don't know how, I don't like any of that.
And I felt badly. I mean, I tried to talk with him on the phone for like hours saying, hey, look, I'm listening to you, but it was crushing. But that is, again, the constant need to confirm. The moment they get up, the moment they stick the lipstick on their mouth, I mean, everything. That's the issue.
Yeah.
In the end, they don't want a third washroom. They don't
there's
want
a difference between like.
Go ahead.
Also, there's a difference between like a Blair White and
Yes.
the guy we just saw who was threatening.
Blair
women,
White is my example too.
For like not going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Blair White is genuinely has gender dysmorphia. Like,
But acknowledges.
and by the way, gender dysmorphia, it's such a tiny percent of the people who really have it. Right. All the rest of it is like Badger said.
Blair also acknowledged
it's a sexual fetish for them.
Yeah.
Right. It's 0.001% of the population. That's the thing. Fletcher, let's read the rest of them so we can get on to the next one. RTD Police for £2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You just dropped it. Didn't say anything. That's base. Just there. Thank you for your support. Red French Moon for €2. Never forget, John Stewart pinned a medal on a Yahtzee.
Yes, he did. A member from the Asimov battalion who had a little banner covering his tattoo. I wonder what he was covering. That ancient symbol.
It's the same thing with Kimmel, the guy who constantly, look at all the men who are toxic, masculine. And you're like, wait a minute, weren't you the dude that used to put a hot dog in your pants and run around rubbing it up on women for a laugh? Yeah.
Yep.
Araxis for $2. Hey, George. Hey, panel. Greetings from Houston, Texas. Greetings to you. From the Lone Star State. Love it. And Nick the Greek, Yasulevendi for $5. I love how it's the party of tolerance that calls for violence. It's always those who preach tolerance who are the most intolerant.
Oh my God! Wait till you watch that video. I sent the link I sent you. I mean, it's crazy.
That's why Gina Carano was so right in that post that really tipped. It was because she didn't want pronouns, but that post saying that, like, look, what the fun thing the Nazis did was make one half hate the other half, so that anything they did was complete. And what does the left want to do to us because they think we're all demons? Boy, they'd line us all up. So it was a very apt point that you can't make half the population think the other half are demons.
And I would put it to you that there's a vast number of people who are going to breathe a large sigh of relief, not having to dip their toe into it and have it change back to some level of normalcy without them having to participate. We don't hear from them.
No, because they're either afraid, they don't want to touch that rail. They've made it in such a way, it used to be, I would say 30 years ago, they say the third rail in politics and in culture was Social Security. If you touch it, as a politician, you die. I was like, well, you can't solve problems that way if you can't discuss it. Dean Kranz for $5 to paraphrase Heathers. In a few years, the mean girls will say, transgender is so 2020s.
Blame Occupy Wall Street. After Occupy Wall Street, we got gender identity.
Dean, thank you for that. I like that. Phoebe Dinsmore for £5 here in the UK. The police now allow trans women officers. I read that yesterday. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, is this the Babylon Bee? No. In the UK, the police now allow trans women officers to do strip searches of biological women. I'm beyond disgusted. I'm there with you. My heart is with you. I'm really hoping that Trump, because of everything that I've seen, the way he handles, the way his policy, his ideology is about economic security is national security. And then he embraces that and brings that out into the bilateral deals that he makes. I'm hoping that he's still pissed off that Starmer sent staff members to help Kamala's campaign here in the U.S. and that there'll be some changes. I know it's not a joke. It's horrible what's going on there, especially the UK now. Oh, well, we talked about this in the member stream, that going after the farmers. I mean, it's just communism straight out. We're not to call socialism light. It's communism. The way they're treated. I showed a police officer who was stating in a video to a woman who was singing. She was singing a church song. They're like, you're not allowed to sing a church song outside of a church. You got to sing it inside. She's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I'm singing a song. You know what the officer's reply was at the end? She stuck her tongue out at him. I'm like, who the fuck is this person? Like, how are they supposed to be working with a community protecting them when they're doing that? No.
We only protect one certain community for some reason. Yeah.
But we have to stand together with our cousins across the pond. Absolutely. I love the UK. It's just want to find a way to help them. Mouse World 666 is back. Gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. Way to go. You're always here. So I'm so grateful for your support, your enthusiasm. It's inspiring. And Lucia, my beautiful Lucia, gifted 10 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. Thank you. Please, everybody, go thank Mouse World and Lucia. Wow, we're almost there. Now, I want to play this since we were talking. We'll wrap up the subject. The power of lies have gotten to a point where, we've seen it all around us. This just was released this morning. Just we'll watch the first minute. We're not even going to get past the interview. Just listen to the introduction and tell me that doesn't have an impact on kids. And we'll see how that then plays out in Hollywood.
Spokane is now the home of royalty after a local woman takes home the crown of Miss Trans USA, being the first ever Afro-Latina winner in that competition's history. Crime 2's Christian Garza sat down with Beyonce Black St. James to ask her about this accomplishment. Christian?
Well, it's not every day that someone from our community wins a national competition, especially one centered around an important message like activism and charity. It was life-changing. A journey that started here in Spokane.
It was life-changing. Well,
that's the hottest trans we could find. This is bullshit. There's hotter trans out there.
Here's the problem: is because of that award, the contestant is now going to go on to Miss USA.
Oh, good luck.
But it's a different culture now. Remember,
it's a different culture now.
How? I'm trying. You can't reason with insanity. You can't reason with insanity. And then we turn around, and this is why I talk about the power of lies. Blitz. Have y'all heard of that new Apple TV production, Blitz, about the 1941?
Yes. I heard about it. I know nothing about it.
Okay, well, Blitz is from Apple TV. Here's someone who does a little review on it, but it's more a critique of what it's trying to do. Blitz, set on a vast CGI canvas in September 1941, is an improbable boy's adventure tale that depicts the misery and terror that was inflicted on East Londoners by Germany's 8-month bombardment. The enemy in the movie is not airborne, however, so it's not the Nazis. Just remember that, not the Nazis. Writer-director Steve McQueen made it to educate audiences about contemporaneous white racism in Britain. Proof that not all British pulled together during a time of total war. So what they did was I went and I was researching this, right? Because I started, when I saw the Blitz come up on Apple TV, I was like, wow, it's about World War II. Always love watching World War II stuff. And I was trying to figure out how they were promoting this. And I took a look at it. And these are their posters and trailers. Now, I don't care who you cast, but when you're doing a period piece with something historical, right? So I watched the show. There were less, if you Google right now, what was the black population of the United Kingdom in 1941? It's going to say the first answer between 8 to 10,000, less than 1%. England did not have Jim Crow, did not have the problems that were in the United States. They didn't have that level. So what I realized was this type of lie is insidious. What does it do? Whoever actually back then was racist, right? If you're saying that your entire population here, right, was subjugated to horrendous laws and inane bigotry, then how are you going to even show progress? If you're going to go, well, look, half of the United Kingdom was black, and everybody who was in London was suffering under bigotry and racism. And look at us here today. Do you see how pernicious that lie is? It tokenizes, again, across the pond, black people. That to me is the most reprehensible thing when you try to, again, tokenize. I can't think of a better word for it.
That's the perfect word for it. It's a perfect word for it. You're using black people as a... Yeah, well, they just use...
One at a time. Wait, one at a time. Go
ahead, Ben.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying England ended slavery. They were a lot more progressive than we were first, so they probably did have more black people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, it's just you're using it to promote an ideology. And at this point in time in history of, Great Britain, that didn't exist. It wasn't that pernicious as you're stating. So why use that as some sort of a proof of, the current day racism that you think is existing when you could just tell the truth? But again, they're not interested in truth. They don't care about truth. This is their truth. The only thing that matters is the ideology, because the ideology gains them power. When they create all of this, I was just, as you guys are playing all this stuff, I was thinking of that that line by Littlefinger in a game it says chaos.
A ladder.
That's all it is. They're creating chaos. They're creating, division, mass hysteria, so that they can gain power, so that they can get their, chief diversity officers into all of these various businesses. Oh, you need a chief diversity officer because look at all the racism that's existing in society. Don't you want to make sure that you're not racist? Put a chief diversity put a black woman in a CEO type power position. There you go. That's why all of this stuff is happening, so that they can gain power more and more throughout society. It has nothing to do with truth, and that's what's pissing me off. And they use black people, as you're stating, to, promote that end.
Well, they are, but that's the point, is when you change history, even if you were coming at it from let's say they didn't have goals for power and control, and it was solely, I'm losing my words. Like, it was pure. Like, they actually believed we want to do something better. So we want to twist history in order to create a brighter future. You cannot start something with a lie. It always ends badly.
Have you seen this?
Where you can't. I just started watching it.
It's the one with Cerise Ronan, right? Where she has this. Yeah, because I think this might be a case of, if you didn't hear the guy say that and you just watched this, you wouldn't have seen any of that messaging. This is just him trying to capitalize.
Right.
But George, this has been consistent with Hollywood for I don't know how long now, man. I mean, look, especially when it comes to black people, man. Why do you think there's so many slave movies, right? Why is it that Denzel Washington's first Oscar was for playing a slave, right? Or some kind of like black misery, right? Like you had Halle Berry winning for playing the abused black woman, right?
Yeah.
You have Mahershala Ali win an Oscar for Green Book, right? Playing the black driver to a white woman or to a white man. I'm sorry. Hollywood loves
Green Book. He was the one being driven. Sorry, that was a really good fucking movie. Green Book's one of my favorite movies. Vigo was the white guy.
Right. My bad. But again, set in the time of what, like Jim Crow and all that, right? But you're right about that. But my thing is, Hollywood loves to keep black people in this box, right?
Black struggle.
Even though now they claim to be all about diversity and race swapping them in other parts. For the most part, though, Hollywood's sweet spot has always been putting black people in this weird box, right? And it's a weird box of misery and victimhood.
But that's
right?
annoying.
And the more they could.
Well, what other use are you?
But exactly, right? In Hollywood's eyes, I mean, apparently, that's what we're good for.
Well,
but
remember Robert Townsend did a whole movie about that. Hollywood Shuffle is about all the black roles that were being played by, the gangster, the hoodlum, the prostitute, the slave, all of that. Yeah. That's what Hollywood has always seen black people as. And even when when it's time to, put them in a more prominent role, what they do is they take a white character and then they skin swap them into a black character instead of actually creating an original black character. That's what they choose to do. So it's all fake, phony diversity. They don't really give a shit.
It doesn't drive you crazy. I'm not black, and it drives me crazy.
And the race swapping is really just a pat on the head for us to be like, oh, we'll give you a little something. We'll give you a black Superman.
Yeah,
that bothers me to my bones. It bothers me to my bones because I'm like going, there's another. I don't know how else to say it. I view everybody who is a citizen as brothers and sisters. You may not know each other, but you're citizens under the same home. We live in a country. We may not always agree on things, but it's our home. And when I hear that, when I see these things, it drives me up the fucking wall.
So there's another 30,000 foot issue here that nobody's talking about, and that is. Writing has become so bad that you need drama in writing, right? And when there's no issues and no drama left, you make up stuff or you repeat stuff. And all deference to my friends in color here and alcoholics, any of you who might have suffered drug dependencies, these are the most boring stories in the world. The arc of the person who suffers some kind of pain, becomes an alcoholic, becomes a horrible person, but then through the help of something finds redemption and goes off and fixes the things that they did. It's the same thing with the white person, black savior arc. These are no longer stories. In the Heat of the Night was needed at that time. It was relevant to that time. But now people are just repeating it over and over because they don't know how to write.
Is it that, or they have marching orders?
No, they're writing something and they're handing it off to a studio reader or whatever who goes, "Oh my God, this is hitting me." No, this alcohol arc has been done like 1,000 times already.
Right.
You know, the Jack Lemmon movie was probably the best one. Maybe the one with the Batman.
Adam West?
No, not him.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Oh,
there's a Michael Keaton alcoholism.
because you said Jack Lemmon, I thought that.
Yeah. Jack Lemmon, the movie that he was, Days of Wine and Roses.
Right.
So everything is just every alcoholism arc movie is just a repeat of that.
But Paul, isn't it both? One, they have marching orders, but two, the people they do have, and they say, right what you know, are a bunch of people that don't know shit and they don't have any life. They've not gone to war.
Correct.
They don't know, you know what I'm saying? So
this is to them, it's transformative. Oh my God, look what happened to this poor black kid in London. Oh, this is terrible. No, this is the same arc that we've now seen like 1,000 times in every like there's been a dozen movies, thousands of movies.
You're talking about Clean and Sober? That's what somebody said, because I remember that.
Clean. It's Days of Wine and Clean and Sober was the Keaton
Michael
movie.
Keaton.
Sandra Bullock had her movie. It's
they all have the same arc. It's boring. But the thing is, people are trying to juice it up with these, these old tropes without understanding that they've been done better before.
Oh, way better before, man. I mean, no one gives Norman Lear the credit that guy should get, man. When Norman Lear made those shows back in the 70s, like Good Times, Sanford and Son, these are shows where they portray black families with a black father in the home, right? Sanford and Son, Good Times. You also had a show where two black people, from the ghetto, moved up, right? The Jeffersons, right? Moved up into a Manhattan penthouse, right? Showing progress, right? Like these shows were positive, man. These were positive shows, right? There was always a good message in these shows, right? And it was something positive for black folks. Now they've taken that, man, and it's kind of like they've twisted all of that.
And it has to be dour.
It has to be dour. And like Paul said, it's boring. It's boring and it's stupid.
They act like none of that happened, by the way. And all of the shows that I watched growing up that were predominantly black, from Fresh Prince to Sister, all Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Moesha, all that shit. A lot of them, more than 10. And they act like Parenthood, Black Family, Good, No Cousins, act like none of that happened. That we just grew up in a systemically racist country and we all got it internalized. Look, what are you talking about?
No,
Bad
we progressed.
Boys was my favorite movie.
I'll tell you, the funniest couple actually in the Jeffersons was the mixed race couple.
Oh, from across the hall.
Oh my God.
Dude, and that was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge back then.
Oh, the wife looking at him when he like drops a boner and she's, oh man, that was funny.
And we go from, the Jeffersons, Good Times.
So yeah, we're not allowed to any joy. Oh yes, my favorite topic.
Oh dear God.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck they're selling. Has anybody figured out what they're selling besides dresses for men?
It's definitely not a car, because there's no car in the commercial.
Right.
For a Jaguar ad.
Does anybody in chat have an idea what the hell they're selling? Because the guy, the one who was in charge, he came out and he seems to have been pretty pissed. He's not in this video, but there's been articles that he's angry. He goes, we had to do something new to break the mold, to be able to stay competitive. I'm like, who the hell are you selling this? At first, I thought, I was talking to a friend of mine. We're like, is this possibly a troll job? Like they did this to get everybody talking. And then you'll see in 2 or 3 weeks, they'll drop a car ad. I'm like, okay. But instead, it seems like it's simply...
I just want to say that just to show the lack of originality of this ad, put up the picture that I just threw in the back end there.
Whoops.
Look at that. Look at the guy's hair. Like they copied the hair.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
This is the IT crowd. Look at that, man.
Wow.
They can't even come up with a decent chopped haircut. This, anyways.
Oh, but you saw the response, right, to the guy who created the ad saying that this was all about bigotry and the hatred for this ad is blah, blah, blah. The usual shit, right? What's funny is I just posted a link in the private chat. Someone did a spoof of this particular ad that's kind of hilarious.
Talking about.
Okay.
But it's like there's like an AI Jaguar that actually attacks those people.
I can't wait to see this. Hold on. I can't wait to see this. Hold on. I haven't seen this.
So we haven't won yet. We're going to see a lot of holdover of things still coming out, but we're going to be having a lot of fun memeing on it now.
Yeah, I wish Tom was here. Tom should be here because he calls it the last re.
We watched this yesterday on Yellow Flash's show.
It's the great correction. It's the last time of look at this dumb shit that they thought was going to work. It's the last time to enjoy it.
Here we go. I like that.
See that, and that's the better ad. That's the better ad,
That's
right
the better
there.
ad. Yeah, get this bullshit out of here.
I did 2 videos on this. The first one, because I've been in marketing for 30 years.
Okay, as a marketer, real quick, before I forget, what do you think of it?
Me?
As just a pure marketer, not a YouTuber, not a comedian, just as your marketing hat on.
Okay, so if this is their marketing, then I don't know what they're doing. Pure from 2 perspectives. Number one is businesses require cash flow. They've decided not to target this to their existing customers. So every single dealership all over the world, their next car comes out in 2026. Their sales are going to dry up. Doesn't a company need cash? So this, from a business perspective, if I was going to pull this, I would do it just before the car was available, like right before the car was available, because now no one's going to be going to their dealerships to buy any kind of existing product. This is a problem for just being in business. Forget about marketing. Apart from the fact that this was really badly done, like if they're trying to pull this off, they didn't even pull this off. So, I mean, I've got so many things to talk about, but I'll leave it at that.
But also, who are the people who would normally buy a Jaguar, right?
It used to be conservative upper
right,
class.
businessmen. Oh, and by the way, and I said this on Yellow Flash Show yesterday, I haven't seen a Jaguar in LA for probably about 10 years now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Who's even driving Jaguars anymore?
They only
Right?
sold 66,000 cars last year.
That's because Ford bought them 20 years ago, and now an Indian company.
Now it's it's Tata. It's owned by Tata. Yeah, Tata.
What a name is that?
But my
Tata?
thing
It's
is,
like
the
shitty.
people who would normally buy a Jaguar are not the people this ad is targeted to.
No.
Who is it? I know, but what then are they selling? Is it just to get people talking, or is this a philosophy? Because if we listen to the coordinator, it seems it's a philosophy. I mean, there's nothing about a car there. It's just what?
Well, like Badger said, this is a holdover, man. We're going to see a lot of holdovers, guys, for probably the next year, to be
I know,
honest
but
with
you
you.
have to sell something. Like
You can sell something without showing it. That's not an issue. It depends on the follow up.
With today's
of course,
memory.
In my first video, I went, Jaguar is pranking us. They're getting us talking about this, which they succeeded in spades. We're doing it now, but then they're going to come out with their real shit. That was my first video.
I agree.
My first video was incredulity that there is no way any kind of business this is sustainable. It's not sustainable from a marketing perspective because there's no idea behind
Paul, I don't think so, because I think the backlash on this, if they pull out and say, "Oh, we were just kidding about that whole, drag commercial we did. We're kidding, guys." They will get so much shit for that.
I think that could be, if the car is good, it could be very cheeky British. They could have pulled it off. I really believe they could. But based on other people's response to my first video, I followed that up with another video with some research and found the quotes from the owner of, or the guy who's managing Jaguar. And he's bought completely into it. Now, the bigger joke is this is the culmination of 3 years and the work of 800 people.
What? Wait, what?
Wait, that commercial with 3 years and 800 people?
No, this campaign. So
this whole campaign is 3 years? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
This commercial and the ongoing campaign is the work of 3 years in the planning 800 people. I swear to God, that's my research.
I'm with you there, Lucio.
Hey, to answer the question, I just dropped it in the private chat. This is a link if you want to check that out. This is the actual target audience for the Jaguar.
I know which this one is. Yeah, and think about the 3 years that they were planning this through. It was the height of insanity.
Jaguar, sleek and smart. For men who'd like hand jobs from beautiful women.
Oh my God, that's the movie with Dudley Moore where he does those commercials that are about telling
Crazy
the truth.
people.
Crazy. I love it. I remember this. That is a classic.
I would like that though. I would. He's right. I would not be averse to that.
I would wish they would do. I think that would be great marketing. You know, it'd be like, whoa, rot your brain as fast as you can.
Man, I've worked in marketing for 25 years now. This is baffling to me.
Yeah,
like I've never seen this kind of incompetency when it comes to marketing a brand at all. I just don't understand. Like we are so creatively bankrupt right now. Like it's almost sad to think that people who love art and respect, art the way we do, as we say we do, as a society, man, we have been in a drought for a long time.
Because DEI kills art. I know it sounds a joke, but it does. So how can we have anything creative if it's hampered?
Too busy focusing on ideology, man. You can't create if you're trying to, teach and preach and push an agenda. You can't create things that are interesting and entertaining. That just goes against that. We're here to teach you something.
Yep,
yeah, we're here to teach you. We're not here to entertain you, please.
They're there to lecture you, DA. I think because this is why Get Woke Go Broke as we are, and we got him here talking about it.
Well, I think it's a little bit more insidious than that, man. This is a programming, or they're trying to program, right?
But it shows you how ignorant they are verbal, because if what Paul was saying, and this has been a 3-year campaign, the logo, the commercial, the team. But then it was put out after the election. Didn't a light bulb go off in somebody's head and go, whoa.
Well,
There's
echo
been a
chamber.
shift here. We need to reevaluate this. Like, let's just pump the brakes for a moment.
People don't want to be preached to. That's the one common denominator. Even if they don't know what woke is, they don't want to be preached to.
I agree.
And at Jaguar, we are passionate about our people. And we're committed to fostering a diverse,
what is he wearing, by the way?
And unified culture that is representative not only of the people
and a
who
see-through
use
shirt
our products, but in a society in which we all live. A culture.
Come on, Verbal. That's his Dave Bautista fashion look. He just needs the pearls.
Yeah.
But this guy is speaking to professionals here. This is a business thing, and this is what he's wearing.
He doesn't seem to mind.
The attitude awards, bro.
Our employees can bring their authentic selves to work.
They're gamers.
We are on a transformative journey of our own, driven by a belief in diversity, inclusion, creativity, policy, and most importantly,
not the important one, thought.
No.
We've established over 15 DEI groups, such as Pride, who are here tonight in the back.
Woo!
15 groups.
15.
Oh, but wait. I thought they didn't like that term DEI. I thought it was a slur.
Yeah, no.
Thank you guys for coming. Women in engineering and neurodiversity matters.
Gendered language, you said guys.
We've launched major policy revisions, such as transitioning at work, to drive equity and support.
What does this have to do with Jaguar?
Nothing. This is why it didn't. Come on, you know exactly what's going on here. This guy is not going to have a job soon. There's no way, unless he's like fucked half the board, or
that's the other. It's a whole grift industry, right? There's a whole bunch of people that get paid a bunch of money to be DEI officers and push propaganda, and they're all about to lose their like. So when they're talking to Batman, they're like, "Hey, everyone that's about to start losing their bribe money." That's what's going on right now.
Yeah,
everyone's about to start losing their illicit.
And there's no such thing as diversity. Verbal and I talked about this. Is that the people who aren't included are straight white men.
Yeah,
straight
white and more often straight black men. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be clear. In their eyes, a straight black man is just as bad as a straight white man.
Oh, wait. Hey. A strong black man is way worse than a white man to them, which is why they take every opportunity to feminize and put you in dresses or make you gay or whatever.
And again, this is
it's called bug breaking. But yes,
this is what I meant about the boring stuff. Like we talked about alcoholism and race. It's also happened with sexuality, in that they need to talk about it now. Look at Star Trek Discovery. It's by talking about it, they think they've made it a dramatically important thing. It's boring. You know,
I also tried to explain to them.
You know, my brother came out one day. You know what we did? We had dinner with his boyfriend. Wow, there was the exciting dramatic arc.
In the
Holy
23rd
smokes.
century, you shouldn't have a gay man being preached to about pronouns
Well,
by a
that's the point,
trans
is that
girl.
they've already solved all
Yeah,
the
that's kinda
problems.
weird.
It's the assumption.
Right.
But their ability to, oh, this is such a tearful story. Oh, he's come out in space. Oh my God, we've got to do something about this. Throw him a party or like give him a tighter suit or something like that. Oh no. It's like, it's boring, but this is the only thing they can think of, but they think it's fabulous.
Yep.
Because that's who they are. Like, think about this. Think about this. Deep down, that's the only thing interesting about these people. They only have their
Intrinsic
sexuality. Who they're sleeping with
qualities.
is all it is in their entire life. If they aren't sleeping with, like, what else do you have in your life? Are you a painter? Are you a poet? Like, what else is going on in your life other than sex? And they don't have anything else. This is it. This is their entire identity, which is why this shit comes off as boring. Because it's like, we want stories about people leading far more interesting lives and are more interested in things than just who they're sleeping with. That we could care less about who you're sleeping with. You know, tell me that you're an archaeologist trying to find the Ark of the Covenant or something. You know, like, go deeper than just your skin's, you know, your skin color or your gender or your sexuality, because that shit is boring. And that's all Hollywood is. They're just a bunch of bubble dwellers. They don't actually know real people. They don't live real lives where they touch grass and they know humanities and they've dealt with every facet of the globe. They don't know these people. That's why this is the only thing they can write. The only thing they can write is skin color, gender, sex. That's it. And those are the most boringest things about people.
Well, you know what's weird? You know what's weird is like we hit two major milestones in this country. I would say in the world, really. One was when Obama got elected, right? It's like, okay, we got the first black president. It happened. It happened in my lifetime. It happened, right? We got a black president, right? Great. And not only did we get him, we got him for 8 years. So he had 2 terms, a 2-term black president, right? That was big. On the other side of that, we also got gay marriage being legalized and being acknowledged, right? So
should have been done right there. That was
right there. We hit this point where, honestly, especially with the gay community, where I think we were good. We were good. It was like great.
And don't forget penis birthday cakes. Just want to say.
I'm just saying, but we were good. Like the gay community, you know, I mean, we saw them as just regular people like us. I mean, no big deal. They can get married like us, have children, whatever. There was no big deal. But then they had to take it to the next level, right? And that's when all the trans shit started happening. And then the divide happens again, right? It's like they can't let progress happen.
Because you can't be a progressive if there's no more progress to be made.
Correct.
So that's why it has to keep progressive in movement, means it just
it's about devolving everything. It's about devolving everything. The reality is God bless America and Trump. This shit is going to be over with soon. Only because of the fact that people do not want to participate. They do not want to fund it. They don't want to support it. They're going to be out of jobs or they have to change.
Well, all 5 of us here are part of the majority, and we're the least represented by all these people.
Yeah.
Except for Volvo seem to have a brain.
Well, they're no longer doing electric.
Oh,
right. Well, they can, especially. That talk about that. You have the auto manufacturers are now begging Trump and everybody on his transition team and around his orbit, please don't take the electric vehicle rebates back. We spend billions under Biden, getting ready to get rid of gas powered cars. They're like, yeah, sorry, buddy.
You know what? Let the market decide which cars people should buy. Don't
the power grid.
Exactly. But Biden, remember, he mandated it by 2035.
Yeah, look at California. Where are they going to get the electricity from?
Do we have brownouts? And we do not have the power grid. And also, where are you going to get the cobalt from?
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's look at this. This is Volvo's ad.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, love.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
Something wrong?
No, but we've actually got something to tell you. Kate's pregnant.
Oh, I'm joking.
You're gonna be a grandma.
Oh my God. How does it feel?
I'm scared, Mum.
Why are you scared?
About it all, you know. The nights, the responsibility. We're gonna need a bigger place.
Help with all that.
I know. Bless you. You're so sweet. I've got this feeling that we're gonna have a daughter. Just as stubborn as her mum.
Oh, hopefully not. The family's large.
Now that's a legacy she might have to live with. She might be the reason we tied a knot.
What if I don't do good in class?
I just want to.
What do y'all think of that so far? I mean, it's a really long one.
What's it
It's
about?
normative and awesome.
What's it about?
Well, yeah. Again,
The
it's really
nuclear
long.
family.
Volvo, yeah. Then it's about family. Volvo was with you and your family, but at least they showed a car. I think it's too long. The build up to it, they could have gone through it
It's
quicker.
like a mini movie, man. This thing is very long.
What's the punchline? She marries another girl.
Say and do.
Let's get to the end and find the punchline.
See, I'm nervous.
You went a little bit too far, boss.
I did?
Yeah, it's just because what happened is that the lady, this lady,
Right there.
stops. Yes, so right there,
Mhm.
and then you play it. It's because the lady, she was in a Volvo and she has safety, so she was able to stop. And this futures can happen because the lady was in a Volvo and was able to stop in time, and so
Gotcha.
this woman was able to have a family and a life.
Well, thank you for telling me. I like that. Thank you, Fletcher. That's
This
awesome.
is what we call a legacy commercial.
Right, but it's
Okay,
long.
now let me explain that for a second now, because
Please.
what a legacy commercial is, like when a bank or an institution, a hospital, a car dealership does a commercial around the holiday time just to remind you they're there, but they give you one of these sappy kind of hit you in the heart kind of things because they don't really need to advertise to you, right? It's more of just a they're just reminding you that they're there. Kind of, it's a legacy thing. It's to get you emotionally involved. You'll hear, just it's as simple sometimes as, from our family to yours at the Farmers State Bank, or whatever, you want to see, whoever it is that's an institutional kind of like advertising. That's what they're doing here, as opposed to Jaguar,
I'm not sure.
which Jaguar is trying to remind you that they exist.
What I got from this ad is that women shouldn't be allowed to drive because they could kill you.
We all knew that, Paul.
It's like in Dumb and
Thank
Dumber when
God
they're
for
crying at the
Volvo,
bank
right?
ad.
Hi, Tom.
No, I like this commercial. I liked it because it highlights family values, something that's sorely missing in this day and age. What's up, Tom? Family values, because what did we get from that Jaguar commercial? A lot of color, a lot of LGBTQ, a lot of stuff that doesn't promote family. This commercial is absolutely saying, hey, look, this lady is safe she was saved because this Jaguar can stop on a dime and save somebody,
Volvo.
somebody walking through a crosswalk, getting killed, and there
Volvo,
goes
yeah,
the
not
entire
Jaguar.
family. Like important, but it's also the son talking to his mother. You're going to be a grandma, like all of these family values.
It's also
things
saying you
that
can
is
trust a
important.
Volvo. It'll be part of your future. It'll help build your family.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
saying all those things at once.
It's saying all of that. And it's beautiful. That's what commercials like Volvo or like car commercials should be actually promoting.
But you know what though, a Jaguar commercial should not be the same as a Volvo commercial, right? With Volvo, you're promoting family and that whole deal. I get that. With Jaguar, it's about like, hey, I got money, I got status, I'm living high. And you know what? Yeah. Here's the thing. You know what? If we're going to be honest and do honest marketing, yes, the people who own Jaguars are probably successful. They probably got big money, right? So promote to the people who got big money and people who are living this fast lifestyle. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a product for everybody, right? Maybe I can't afford
Here's
a Jaguar.
a Jaguar commercial. You just put Loki in it and you have him come up and just
that's what I'm saying.
Let me finish.
There was already a Loki.
Yeah, let
ad.
me finish this. And this is basically what you do. You have him come up and scream up and into the screen and say, it's hard to be this bad or something like that, and then just scream off. That's all you need. You don't need anything more than that. Basically, this ad right here. Yeah.
I love the first minute of this. This was an ad from 9 years ago.
Or
I
the
think
Lincoln ads with fucking what's his face? Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew
and shit.
McConaughey, yeah.
But I think this is a cool one for Jaguar. Just too long. I'll play the first minute.
Throne of kings, this sceptred isle,
Gorgeous car.
this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war.
They say Brits play the best villains. But what makes a great villain?
See?
Firstly, you need to sound distinct.
I would accept a hot chick in a bikini also.
Yeah.
Speak with an eloquence that lets everyone know who's in charge. Gentlemen. Excellent. Now, a villain should have style. The suit should always be bespoke.
See, now I want a Jaguar.
See, in that was 1 minute, 1 minute and 1 second. We know everything it's about. It tells us it's cool, it's sleek, villain, British. Come on, it's got
It's really good to be this bad.
Yeah.
Now,
Got
I would
everything
have, for modern audiences, I would have rewritten the Volvo ad that the white-haired woman just stopped. She got out to see how the mother was doing. They would fall in love and run away together from the, and there had to be a lesbian. I'm waiting for it. See, my mind is in constant polluted mode now. I cannot get any of this stuff out of my
It's
mind.
going to take a couple years to not
No, but
see what they see when,
What
the
they
big
see when
difference
they
between.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. You guys finish.
No, finish. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, that would be my modern version of the Volvo ad.
But see, that was a good ad. That was a good ad because you know what? It's like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not living that life, but I want to live that life.
Yep.
I want that life. I want that car, right? That's what a commercial should do. That's what an ad should do.
So yeah, the guy from Jaguar talked about this new audience without explaining who they are and whether they had any money. And so,
but Paul, they never do. They never do.
No, that's true. I mean, this is the modern audience syndrome, right? That we've talked about a lot, is that everybody wants this modern audience, but none of them come and support the products that they're making.
Well, that's
you know why? Because the modern audience doesn't exist.
They need to make products, as we now are going to talk about Hollywood. They need to make movies and shows. I don't care if it's even a commercial for the audience they have, and then one that they can build off of. But now they go, let's take a boy brand and make it a girl brand. Let's take a girl brand and make it a knit brand. Let's take a knit brand and try to make it for everybody who's anything but man, woman.
But it's also neutering. Now, I brought up a picture. I also did this bit on Midnight's Edge, but I think this is very instructive. So we talk about movies, TV shows, and now cars, but I don't think you understand how this mediocrity has affected every aspect of the creative business. Okay, so if you can pull up that image that I've loaded up, these are the old logos that we've known to what they look like now.
Looks like communist, boring and normal. And
I was just going to ask you what you thought.
Yeah. Well, I beat you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, 100% looks like conformists and just normal. They only wear grays and dull colors.
And each one of these would probably have been a different agency, and they're not even talking to each other, yet they're coming up with the same boring shit.
Well, it's the same way with the media. They all say
That's
the
my
same
point.
thing. They're all reading from the
same schools. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
introduce better drugs to them again, psychedelics, so we can get cars like in the 60s.
Could you imagine any?
We need to make cocaine great again.
Thank you. Get fentanyl out of there.
That's what I've been saying for a while. Cocaine and capitalism. That's what
let's
built
go,
Hollywood.
They would never come up with the General Electric logo.
Yes.
They would never come up with the IBM logo. There's just absolutely no way.
I feel nothing looking at that.
Nothing. It's conformity.
Yeah.
And this
just
is
like our
also what we're
buildings.
seeing in TV and movies.
And we see it in our architecture.
Yeah.
And I mean, the crazy thing is the ones on the left aren't like mind blowing. Like, at least to me, I'm just like, okay, solid logo. But I mean, it got worse. Like, that's crazy to me, man. I would think that the ones on the left would have been like amazing. And I mean, the ones on the right just look very, very plain. That is insane that this is where advertising is going right
now. Yep. Let's think
about if I were a studio or one of these companies, what I would do is when these meetings happened, I swear I would just walk in there, wouldn't say a word. I would just throw a huge bag of cocaine on the table and say, "Go at it."
Right, of course. But we got to look at it. Where is all this coming from? Look at our architecture today. We used to make buildings that celebrated something, celebrated the spirit. How many buildings now, they look like prisons? They're just boxes with your false drop ceilings, little cubicles. It basically says you don't matter. You're just a cog in the machine. You live, you die, get the fuck out of here.
You know, the joke is Trump might actually make it better again.
He's talked about that. He's talked about it for a long time. He goes, we have to get back to the point where we're celebrating our country. We're celebrating it through art. We're celebrating our societies. It doesn't matter if you're in Iowa or Texas, Mississippi or Missouri. You have to build something that people look up to. There's a reason for it.
I keep telling you, I keep saying over and over, man, the thing that kept us together for so long was the Cold War, man. We need that Cold War enemy back. That's the only thing that united Americans. Man, in the 80s, look, as fucked up as things were in the 80s, we at least all agreed on one thing, right? Russia's bad, we're good, right? Even if we weren't. Still, we have pride in America, right? At least when it came to the Russians, right? We need that level of threat back.
We have an enemy. Woke. We have an enemy. Communist.
See, that's too nuanced. Like it's too inside. It's like the enemy within the gates, right?
Right. That's the most important enemy. We have communists in our society. Full-fledged communists who want to tear down our country.
I think we need to go full Ozymandias, and we just, you know what I'm saying? We need someone to create an enemy or something we can all unite behind.
I don't think we need to create it. I think we need to highlight it, which is why last week when Volvo and I were talking, I was sitting there. One of the things I said is you get a lot of people who've been going on shows, panels, and they're like, we got to be more understanding. You know, we won. We got to be a little humble. Fuck humility. We've put up with 4 years. Now, I don't mean be mean. I don't mean be cruel. But you have to take a scalp. When you have your foot on the neck of your enemy, you crush it. So you show everybody else, don't try this shit. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about institutions. I'm talking about government institutions. I'm talking about special interest groups. I'm talking about Hollywood. You want to show them that this age is done.
You have to show the cultural Marxism behind all their decisions, and they're taking away of all of our heroes. Because it's all on purpose.
Exactly. You have to rebuild that. Our myths.
And not just our heroes, man. They're taking away men. They're taking away like just men, masculinity, man. Like that's the thing we need to get back first before anything else. Is we need to get our balls back.
But that's how you do it, though. You have to do that. You have to stand up. You can't look at it and go, like everybody keeps trying to weaponize. And I think this is partly coming from what do you want to call it, deep state, uniparty. There have been stories day after day, MAGA, the majority that voted for Trump, they need to understand. They need to be kind. They need to be more compassionate, more forgiving. No. You are communists. You're not talking about Democrats and liberals who love America and wanted another way to make it better. It's just we might disagree on how to go about it. You're talking about communists who want to destroy it. They despise the Constitution.
Patriotism. Make patriotism great again.
Exactly. That's why, though, you start with your foot on the enemy's throat and you move forward and you show everybody. What do you think the Romans used to put people on spikes the same way in Middle Ages?
Sweep the leg.
It wasn't about ego. It was about going, look what's going to happen to you if you screw with us. You do that once, guess what? This shit is over with. Because then they'll be terrified. Then you can get back to making creativity great again, making America healthy again, making movies great again, comedy funny again.
We also need to make winners and losers great again, right?
Yep.
We need to have winners now. We need to have winners and losers, right? No more everybody gets a fucking trophy. It's winners and losers. You either win or you don't, right? And that's how you get your masculinity back. That's how the country gets its masculinity back. We got to start putting people in that loser category.
You do, because it's life. You train kids and tell them in schools there's nobody like a loser. That doesn't exist. It's going to hurt your feelings. Life will chew them up and spit them out.
Or they get what they want. They get these pansy ass, little boys who grow up to be pansy ass men.
Right, exactly. But again, because they've been told that they're not only there's no such thing as losers. There's no such thing as winners. Everybody is a winner, but that they're special. Special for what? What have you done to earn it? What obstacle?
No one is.
You got to do that. And so that's where I'm going to bring this up now. I think this is, I think it's a great time. Have y'all seen the news that Amazon is going to do He-Man? Because they were talking about how they want to bring, see, because there have been a couple of reports they want to bring back some heroes.
Although I'm not opposed to Idris Elba as Man at
I love
Arms.
Idris Elba. That doesn't bother me. I'm worried about Amazon. I don't care about. I love Idris Elba.
I'll criticize it. We're okay with race swaps when we like the actor.
No, I mean, look, no. I'm not okay with. I'm just saying, look, if you are going to do it, at least use a good actor.
Right. Sure, but also don't do it. Just
I'm not okay with it, but it's like, he's a good actor.
I'll answer that question. You know what the problem is with the race swaps? Typically, when they race swap, like I saw Denzel Washington do Macbeth. I thought it was brilliant. Macbeth wasn't black. But guess what? They didn't change the story. Typically, when you race swap, when Hollywood race swaps a character, they kill the story. They make it all about identity politics. You look at Wendy.
This is actually better than Jeffrey Rush as Gordon. I'll give him that. But I don't like the idea of it being like a constant thing where everything's got to be gender swapped, or race swapped.
What I'm saying is I don't care if they did it to him. I would like to have everything represented as it was, but it was a cartoon, so in one way I don't care.
Accepting this right now is because Tom Selleck is too old.
Oh,
I agree.
So what do y'all think? My worry is that Amazon is going to trash it.
Well, first of all, it's a He-Man movie, so like a lot of things can go wrong with this film.
It'll star Tila.
Don't even get me fucking started. Okay,
a lot of things can go wrong with this film.
I have no confidence in Amazon doing anything right. Period. Point blank. I don't think they're going to get it done. I don't care.
Agree. Okay, so you're with me.
I got to see it first.
But also, wouldn't that make Tila black if they're going to make Men at Arms
all
black?
Of this shit's
it depends.
Point,
okay,
bro. All of this is fucked up. That's
it depends on. In almost all of the lore, Tila is his adopted daughter.
You know, that's right.
In some versions, he is her father, and so it all depends on how they're going with this. If they've already casted Tila, so I think they're doing the adopted.
Yeah, and she's hot. Actually, the actress is very hot. So I have no complaint.
Jennifer Salke, though, you think she'll let them? You know, what I'm saying? I know we've had.
Oh no, I forgot. You're right.
Terminal lists, and we've
Amazon.
had.
What are we doing here?
This is the chick who fucked up Conan, right? Remember, this was the chick who had the guys who were going to make Game of Thrones, who did Game of Thrones, the new one.
The House of Dragon, yeah. And then
House of Dragon. They were going to do Conan, and she didn't want them. Instead, they went over and did this House of Dragon instead. So yeah. Which is kicking the shit out of all their fantasy shows.
And what's going on with Cavill and Warhammer right now? Isn't that off the rails as well? I haven't been able to.
An extension to January. So if we don't hear anything from them in January, that means it's null and void. And I don't think we're going to hear anything.
Getting shoved around. It's really
weird. Because he's actually doing Highlander. That shit's filming and all that. So it's like he's got all these other things.
Started filming yet. That's the other thing.
In January.
But the saying denominator is Amazon
going to actually happen.
And now after Rings of Power and everything that they've did with that, I just have zero confidence in them. The way The Boys went off the rails, I have no confidence that this company is going to produce anything of worth. So yeah, it's Amazon.
Guys, you're ignoring the bigger story. Astrid is now black.
Oh my God! How to Train a Dragon.
I already talked about that one, man. That shit, holy crap, man!
I can't stand the race swapping. Again, I didn't like,
but she is being played by Idris Elba, so it's okay.
Did you hear the director said that literally?
I thought it was Cynthia Erivo. Make up my
mind. I don't
mind.
like the fact that they've made Idris Elba going for He-Man, but if they're gonna do it and they could stay true to it, it wouldn't be the biggest bone of contention for me, because I've seen again. I was talking about, but when you're talking about Jennifer Salke, it doesn't matter who they put into it. The thing is dead on arrival. It's shit. She hates men. I mean, in many ways, she stated it. It's time, the Kathleen Kennedy of Amazon. It's time for a female-centric world.
This He-Man has been in development hell since before Midnight's Edge existed.
Wow. Jesus. Well, and now we got Cavill. They had updates for his Highlander. It says it starts shooting in January.
I'm super looking forward to this. Everything they've said. Chad Stahelski, they really like. He seems like he's going to pay respect to everything he can. Both of them.
I hope so.
You see, that's the thing, man. When you get Cavill, man, the thing is, at least in his heart, he wants to do the right thing. Yeah, he wants to make the show or a movie for the fans, and because he's a fan, that's the thing, and that's why Hollywood hates him.
That's why they hate him,
he is a fan of this stuff. man.
He
you know what
holds
he
their
needs?
feet to the fire.
He needs a
When
better
he's in them-
agent. He needs
One
a
at a
better
time. One at a
agent.
time. Yep.
I'm sorry.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying I
Rock's
love
wife.
it because he holds their feet to the fire. He doesn't put up with their bullshit when they want to change something. Cavill is right there to say, no, that's not the way this works. Okay, we actually got a fan on the inside trying to make shit, and they just keep, I'm sorry, Cavill, we're going to do it our way, and that's what happened to him with The Witcher.
That's why I said he was difficult.
Yeah, he was difficult to work with. It's like, this is the guy you need in your corner. But see, they have an agenda. They're not trying to do what the fans want. They're trying to do what they want to do. And that's the biggest problem in Hollywood right now. They don't want to do what fans want to do. Even though they want the properties, they want to take over these properties, these giant IPs, because they know they got the built-in fan base that's going to show up on day one, but they don't want to do what we want to do. And now we're starting to say, you know what else is out here? I got to find something else to watch.
Because you find out they hate the source material.
Well, they
hate
do.
the source
because
material, they hate the fans for liking it.
Well, they exactly right. Badger nailed it. Fletcher, bring up the super chats if there are any questions. Want to read right through them real quick, and then we'll talk about Harry Potter before we get.
But also, real quick, he does need a better agent for sure. Like, I'm sorry, man.
Oh yeah.
Because you know who else got labeled as hard to work with and difficult? Jenna Ortega, but it didn't stop her from getting roles, right? I mean.
I don't think it's about agent. He needs to be able to have more control, and that's the problem. He needs to be able to be a producer on everything that he does.
But that's what he was with Warhammer, and look what they're doing in that. He's
Right,
an
but is it
executive
him?
producer on Warhammer.
Then what's the problem? Is he not forceful enough? I mean,
That's
there's not
Amazon and Games Workshop. Amazon wants females in space Marines. Games Workshop can't give them that, and they will never be able, and it'll just die out. Force majeure type.
So whose fault is it? Is it his agent?
It's not his
That's
fault.
Amazon. That is Amazon's fault.
No, I'm
For
not talking about
forcing-
Amazon. I'm talking about knowing when he picked it up going in, he would know that this would be a problem, right? Because you're dealing with Amazon. So is it the agent's fault? Or
I think
is it
that's
his?
his agent. I think Dante is correct. Having the same agent as The Rock is just not that good. And then also Henry needs more control because like the Lauren
He fired her
Histridge
like a
from
year and
what?
a half ago.
Did he? Well,
yeah,
good.
he got rid of her after all that DC shit. Because that's what I was saying is.
Then he just needs
everybody
more
was
control.
like
Then
quick to blame
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
else when it was like The Rock was pulling his bullshit in the background.
Right.
And
The
it
Black
was like,
Adam,
and he
yeah.
fired
I
his
remember that.
agent after all that shit. And I said, well, right there's the answer to everything. It was The Rock and his agent who were pulling shit they weren't supposed to do. And that's basically what came out afterwards.
Then he needs just more control because the
But also-
showrunner for Witcher said she found him annoying and his enthusiasm to
Yeah,
play
well,
Geralt.
Screw
Yeah.
her.
He just
That's
needs more
ridiculous.
control.
He needs
So he
more.
can't
I'm
that's
override.
sorry to have the same agent as somebody like that when you're The Rock. And
It's a conflict
Henry
of
Cavill.
interest, man.
It's exactly
Mm.
verbal. You got
Yes.
two of the biggest male stars in the world. You can't try and make one bigger over the other. You can't, because all you're ever going to do is be keeping Henry down under The Rock's thumb.
Yeah.
Because that's all it was for the last 10 years, basically, or however long they've been together.
Yeah.
That's
and then
good.
sort of sabotage because he doesn't get the same support that The Rock does.
Of course
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eric K. for $5 in California. Nancy Pelosi's daughter is still trying to flip multiple House seats by finding new votes. California is fortified. These people need Yale. Absolutely. Send help. California is, I think, a lost cause. But Pressler was talking about Scott Pressler, who I'm still trying to find a way to get him and bring him on the show. He was talking about a strategy they're going to develop, the same one he did in Pennsylvania for California. I hope it goes well for him. Oliver Lavery Farage for 2 pounds. I also love Green Book, and Ali's acting was great. Because who brought up? Was it you, Paul, that brought up Green Book, or was it Verbal?
Dante
Not
mentioned
me.
it for a
It was not me.
second, but it's one of the few examples I think of a real. He was talking about them only making black struggle movies, but that's a really good one about a white Italian and a black guy and how they become best friends. And the Green Book is a book that was like only the hotels that black people could stay in the southern states. It's actually a really good movie, but
It's a
that's
good
an
movie,
exception.
but I guess the family came out and said
I'm not saying it was a
utter
bad movie
bullshit,
at all.
but
It was
yeah.
actually it was actually a good movie. My point though is like it seems like the kind of movies though that Hollywood is drawn to, right? Where it's like, it's always like this what do you call it? I guess I call them plantation movies, right? It's like these feel good
White
plantation
guilt movie,
movies.
white guilt movies, another word for it, maybe.
Yes, another one, white guilt movies.
I only like it because he
I don't buy into
himself,
the white guilt.
Ali, the character he plays, feels guilty. They literally stop, and there's black people working in the field where he has this white man changing his tire, and he's like, anyway, it's a good movie.
No,
I don't
he's
mind it.
100% right.
It's a
and this
fine
is-
movie.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
right.
where
I know
Hollywood
what he
has lost its touch, right? They used to make movies like Philadelphia and other things that used to be a little ahead of the game. Color Purple and other things, movies and stuff that people weren't talking necessarily about at that time. Now they're out there. Everybody's talked about them. We know about them. It's way past that. And here we are now again. They're trying to recreate this crap. and it's not working because they're instead of being ahead of the game, they're way behind. Right?
Well,
It's like, okay, we're already past all this shit.
So
Instead, they have become basically what they are in Tropic Thunder, where they literally don't understand. They've gone full retard, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I pitched a sitcom that didn't fly. I'm going to pitch it to you very quickly. I want to hear your thoughts on it. It's a First Nations native wife with a black husband. They are a great couple, handsome, love each other. They do their ancestry DNA. She finds out that she's actually mixed, and her white DNA actually ran a plantation, a brutal plantation in the South. He finds out that his relatives are actually part of the Union Army that rousted up and killed Indians after the Civil War, which is actually a true story. Now they've got to deal with the fact that they're both racist and horrible people.
So she was a slave owner in her life, and he was.
Now it'd be great if she found out she actually owned a small plantation because of that, and they had to run it together. That seems a little bit more comedic, but no.
That's right. It's Gone with the Wind.
They get a Mexican
I'm not allowed to
woman
watch
to
that
be
movie.
to run the house.
Oh, you're not.
No, they took it off.
No, and to kind of wrap up my point from before is what really bothered me was when Sound of Freedom came out and the way Hollywood reacted to it. And yes, part of it was because of the disgustingness of how could you even react this way to this movie and not thinking about how it makes you look. But the other side of it was how they were just so vitriol against it. And it was like, this is the kind of movie you motherfuckers used to make and win all the Oscars for.
They called it alt-right porn.
Yeah, they called it alt-right porn when it was like 10 years ago. You would have made this movie and it would have won every single Oscar that year, and you know it. If Harvey Weinstein would have produced Sound of Freedom, it would have won all the Oscars.
Yeah, before the Me Too. Before the Me Too.
Exactly. But my point is like this used to be what Hollywood would do. They were ahead of the game, right? Philadelphia changed a lot of people's minds on what AIDS was, because at that point, a lot of people were still misinformed in America, right? There was still a large amount of people who still thought you could get it just from shaking hands or kissing somebody, right? Yeah. Like it was that movie that opened up a lot of people's eyes to this, disease that a lot of people were just kind of ignoring and not talking about. And AIDS research funding went up astronomically after that movie, right? There's a dozen of those examples in the history of Hollywood. That's what they think they are now, but they're not, right? This is what I've said before. These are a bunch of people who grew up watching the DVD special features and listening to everybody talk about how they changed the world with movies in the 60s and 70s, right? And they think they're doing the same thing now. It's like, no, you're not reinventing the wheel. You want to reinvent the wheel. Show me the next Jurassic Park. Show me the next Star Wars. Out of that innovation will come a Philadelphia. Will come a Color of or a Color Purple or something like that. You know what I mean? Those movies will exist when the inspiration is there outside of that. But when you're just trying to do that thing, all you're going to do is make the audience feel like they're being lectured to constantly. And that's all we say all the time on here. Right? Yep. We're sick of being lectured to. So anyway, that was my rant for that.
Oh, he just lectured us.
It's all right. He
that
gave
was
a
my
good
soapbox lecture. Yes,
he gave a good lecture. DJ for $10. Garrett Morgan, who invented the safety hood, and now black people don't know what a computer is, according to Dems. Every black person should hate Woodrow Wilson.
You also can't get IDs, apparently. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah, and I guess black folks don't understand math either, according to white.
I know you hate camping.
Math and milk are racist today.
It's all racist.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah.
We got Abomination for $5. They spent 3-ish years to make that rainbow puke ad. Someone makes a better ad using AI in a single sitting. Yep, nailed it.
It's the shit they were making fun of in Boomerang. That's what's sad about it. If anybody remembers that movie from the 90s with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Great one. Diane Francisco for $5. Maybe they were trying to say that Jaguar is not for everyone. Just a thought. I think that's exactly what they were saying. It's not for everyone. It's for
It's for no one. You can't drive wearing any of that shit.
Of course not. You mean like a leotard with a floaty device in the middle? No. Thank you, Diana. And we got Eric Heffelfinger for $10. The Jaguar ad feels like a threat. They're going to kidnap you, tie you to a chair, and force you to watch a drag show. Well, kind of makes sense. I could see that. I could see that. Thank you, Eric. And then Blair to Blair for $5. These companies can't go out of business fast enough. Amen. That's why I say, see, that's the whole thing. That's why I didn't like what Kid Rock did with the Bud Light. 6 months, they lost $22 billion, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's give them a break. No, you have to take one scalp, and then they will all fall in line. Not go quiet for a couple of years.
But look who gives their money now. They go to MMA fighting and UFC, and now Shane Gillis is doing Bud Light. So my co-host says, we need to make them afraid of our money again.
Right, but I hope it lasts. That's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely,
I hope it lasts. I hope it lasts, and I hope it's not just a sidestep shuffle where again in 24 months or 48 months they come back and go, "Huh, psych, fooled you." Thank you, Blair to Blair. Abomination again for $2. That's Speech Mirror CD Project Reds. We love VSG. Yep, what he did for Jaguar, exactly. See, because they all read from the same script. They believe in the same things. Thank you. Nuki for €5. Hey, George, I wonder how Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond would react to that porn ad. I think Clarkson would have a few words to say. If you saw his interview that he did with the BBC, he was like, can you believe these people? He's like, can you believe these people? He was looking at the BBC. He goes, you are just so typical. I think Jeremy Clarkson would have let him have it. He speaks truth and power.
People.
Thank you, Nuki. We got Ginger
a
Adventure.
Seinfeld episode for this world right now. Yes.
Oh, we definitely.
They just need to get together, make one episode about all the woke shit.
That would be great.
That would be good to do. Come back like one limited season.
If he had
Kramer would definitely be non-binary,
right? if Seinfeld had only not crawled, on his hands and knees, going, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to piss everybody off,"
which you don't understand.
Probably could have got it.
I don't understand either why he did that because
he has almost $500 million. He didn't need to. Anyway.
His fans are older.
His wife probably bitched at him.
Probably.
I want to go to parties and now nobody will invite us because you fucking said that.
I guess. Ginger Adventure for $2. Love you, George. If you need a ginger, I'm here. Thank you. Well, keep you in mind. We're going to be doing something special on each show from now on. I'm going to try something out. You're going to see it in a few minutes. Barton Bella for $5. People forget the interracial couple. This is the third time I'm doing a show where I get a word like my tongue can't get it right. People forget the interracial couple in Jefferson's was to check racism on both sides and to showcase that George had racism too. Number one could be comfortable.
No one could be comfortable. He made everyone
uncomfortable. No one.
Yeah.
My brain.
No worries. He was also number one.
But it was a number one
now,
show.
There was some controversy on the show that Norman Lear eventually did deal with, is that there weren't any black writers on the show.
Really?
And the cast complained about it.
Meathead used to complain about it.
Actually, wasn't John Amos one of the people that he got into it with, if I remember right? Yeah.
That was on Good Times. Yeah. Yep, he did.
But so that's one of the things where, you expand the funnel and bring people in.
Talk about a strong, powerful actor. I mean, John Amos was a fucking force to be reckoned with. But
Red French Moon for €2. Volvo was good already with Van. Volvo was
the split truck. Yeah, the split on the truck. That was.
I haven't seen that. With
that's
Van
a great
in the day. Yeah.
Oh, I have to see that. I haven't.
That's
seen
a fantastic ad.
Van Damme is one of those motherfuckers, I guess, that if he can show you he'll do the splits for you. At least he used to back when he was younger all the time.
I mean, part of the challenge with Jaguar, as the British want to call it, is that it really is a troubled brand. I mean, they're not selling. Volvo is kind of an intermediate brand. They're still doing okay. They have the deep pockets of a Chinese company, Geely, behind them, and they're making very good cars.
Yeah, families will buy Volvos, right?
Yeah, they're safe, and that's what that ad is kind of saying.
But the Jaguar is not. It does not promote safe. That's really not.
No, well, definitely
and
not with that fucking advertisement.
Subaru is not an upmarket brand either. But Jaguar has a problem. I mean, it's where's its audience going to come from? Where the Playboy is going to come from? I mean, they do have to change, but I don't know where they're going and where they can go to. And the other problem is the world is flooded with car manufacturers.
You were right in the first part when I was listening earlier, Paul, when you flat out said like what did work for them is that people were talking about Jaguar. Like I was not kidding when I said I didn't even know they still fucking existed.
Right. So that
right like it did at least do that much, but at the same time it's having the Bud Light effect. See, this is the first time in history where I think that's a negative, because like I know you and I think Verbal said he also has worked in the industry for a long time. Like that's one thing is like there's no such thing as bad press, or at least that used to be the scenario, unless you killed somebody with your product, right? Like that was the worst case scenario where something went bad and you had to have a recall. Those were the only two kinds of things you never wanted to deal with. But like a situation like this, it's like you have Bud Light now, where we've never had that before in history, where we've had different companies, Gillette, Bud Light. I'm sure you guys could come up with 3 or 4 others where they've turned around and done this, and it's tanked their entire business. Harley Davidson, thank you, yeah. But I mean, what basically Volvo is doing is, if anybody should be worried about what Volvo is doing, it should be Ford and Chevy and every other family motor type vehicle, because that's what they're doing here is they're taking over that kind of industry, going, look, we can be safe. We can promise you a future. We are part of the family.
But Volvo's always pitched that. And so
and that's fine.
Subaru. Subaru and Volvo are the 2 safest brands out there from a car perspective, and they promote that. And Volvo will never be bigger than what they are. They're not a threat to Ford or General Motors or Toyota.
They're too small. But what I'm saying is like that Volvo thing is basically the equivalent of the old Folgers commercials that everybody remembers when the big brother comes home from the war or whatever. Like that's what it is. That's one of those kind of commercials in comparison to what Jaguar's doing, where it's more desperation, and now it's going to just
because it's desperation because their existing audiences is disappearing. Volvo's existing audience is not disappearing.
Exactly.
So, see the list of investors who was like, you guys got to stop. The election it's from all across the country. It's like $16 billion worth of investments. And then they cite all these failed companies, Harley Davidson, all that. Like, you just got a resounding message from the electoral votes that like, you got to stop with this. And this is your chance. You're at a crossroads. This is your chance to stop and course correct and go back to your fiduciary responsibility. I just like saying that.
Like I said, Trump is giving these companies an out. They need to take
exactly
it.
what I was just going to say, you bastard.
They need to take the
Beautiful
out.
bastard.
Yeah,
take the out.
They will be. If they're not, they're going to be pushed out one way or the other.
I would love to support the rainbow community, but Trump won't let me.
There you go.
I'm totally supportive of the spreading ink all over my body, top to bottom, turning myself into a crosswalk for the trans community. But no, I can't because of Trump. I'm sorry.
There you go. Blame Trump. You know, he's giving you a way out.
Yep.
Pride.
He's taking on your sins.
All
right. Let me finish these up. You're crazy. I love it. 21 Balaga member for 10 months. Hail George. Yes.
You got him. You got him. Sorry.
I am the Messiah.
Hail excuse me. Hail George, guests in chat, keep slaying George. I'm doing it all right. Thank you for that, 21 Balaga. The Sundowners Club member for 6 months. Yeah, we're going strong. Highlander has been delayed to late spring, early summer shooting due to ballerina reshoots. Wait a minute. Did that just come out? Because I was reading it 2 hours ago that it was reshoots by director Chad Stahelski. Well, that would be sad. It just pushes it back further. But thank you, Sundowners Club. I appreciate that. Butter framed in gold. $2 is the name of the new car, the Trans Am.
The Trans Am, like the Trans Am guy.
Yeah, you remember that guy who was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. He's like, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I approve of that car joke. I am Optimus Pride.
Oh,
I like that.
I have all the gender fluids.
Oh
God.
Yeah,
I'm getting them changed right.
Wow.
No.
Detailed Devil. Article 2, Section 4 for $5. The genius of the Volvo. I have to say this. I have always hated the name of Volvo because I used to say it as Volva. I mean, I hate that.
Yeah, it's a little close to that. Yeah.
It's just the genius of the Volvo ad is it sells selflessness. Buy our car and you'll make the world a better place to live in, saving one new family at a time. Wow, that's so exciting for a car. You detailed devil, I agree. Jim Alaska, haven't seen him in a while. He gifted 20 George the Giant Slayer memberships, and that means we hit 500. We did it. I love it. Thank you, Jim. Everybody, please go thank Jim. We hit 500. So we've been streaming since January, and we did it. This is wait a minute. Where's the big one? I like. There you go. That is cool. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Bless you, my friend. So now we are going to. I was going to show you this because I really I wanted to hear what anybody who's seen Wicked had to say about it before I jump into one of the last topics.
I was trying to avoid that topic.
Well, I'm just going to show
keep
it.
getting in trouble every time it comes up.
No, don't worry. I just want to show it I'm not talking about the movie here. I'm talking about the marketing. This is very specific. I don't like it when they market films and they pull the shit after the film is released. That's what bothers me. Where did you go? Here you are.
Wicked wasn't made for me, so I shall not be seeing it.
To say that you two are slaying me this year between Wicked and Drift and Eternal Sunshine.
Oh, thank you.
Like this is
thank you very much.
I'm from Gay Times, all right?
And what the fuck are those nails?
Very homosexual.
Perfect. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Right at my wheelhouse.
I
couldn't tell.
What I love about Wicked, and I think what a lot of people love about Wicked and this story, is that there are loads of queer allegories from queerness and otherness with Elphaba and allyship with Glinda, which doesn't feel too far off your own personal experiences. So, so how does that inform your
touching my clitoris with those long nails?
I'm curious. How does she blow her nose?
I don't know.
That's
how does she
Don't
wipe
ask
her
her how
ass?
she wipes her ass. They actually, she got
that's
asked
the
that.
function you're wondering how she performs?
No, I just don't understand. The nails are so long. Like, how does she literally grab a fork, wipe her? I mean,
look. They
I
are
knew a chick.
allowed. They are.
I knew
allowed
a chick in high school that had
WNBA.
the nails exactly like that. I knew a girl in high school, like back in the 80s, with nails exactly like that, and she got it done. You know, it wasn't a problem for her. I think it's ridiculous, but
this is the Mark from Variety thing where, unfortunately, what I take issue with is we, and I mean us on YouTube, report this as if the actual movie people said this. Really, the interviewer is the one extolling the gay virtues of this and saying, is this the gayest thing ever? And then we run with it as if that's how they're marketing it. They're not. Now, the problem is the studio needs to say, hey, when someone says, is this a gay allegory, the gayest thing ever? You need to say, no, it's this for this, and if you interpret that, I'm glad, but blah, blah, blah. But
I
they
heard
let them
this
run
movie
away
was
with
the
this.
gayest movie
Is
ever.
it the gayest act?
Is
That
it
was
the gayest green movie ever?
Exactly. So they need to be checked. But instead they go with it because they're afraid to alienate them.
But they've been doing it in every interview.
That motherfucker from Variety is a gay Muppet.
Mark
Prove
from
me
Variety
wrong.
that Chris makes fun of.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, it's they do a disservice. And it's the studio's fault for not having more lines.
But you know what, though? I will say this, and I completely agree, Badger. I think these people need, I think actors, I think just, in general, crew, actors, they need media training. They really need media training. They need to sit down in a room, take a class, and have someone explain to them, when this happens, you say this. When this happens, you say this. What you don't do is you don't offend the people who might go see the fucking project before it comes out. You know what I mean? So they definitely need that.
Holy shit!
I hate what's going on here right now, but I will say this: their target demographic are women and gays. So in this particular situation, whatever. It's like, because those are the people who are going to go watch the film anyway. They're going to watch it regardless, right? It's not like if they're promoting a Marvel film, an MCU film. Now, if they were doing that and talking about this shit, Agatha, it would be a completely different story. But
shit, and even Agatha, I felt, was made for women and gays.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, it was. But here's the thing: but it was still promoted as an MCU project, and that was my problem with it. But no, for something like Wicked, even though I hate what this guy's doing, what this interviewer's doing, whatever, because the people who are going to see it are going to see it.
Okay.
Regardless of him. But I think it's just disingenuous for, and again, like Badger said, it's not the studios doing this. It's not the companies. It's the rogue media who are doing this. The actors just need to be better trained.
The actors go on, though, Dante. They go on in that interview, which I just cut it off. They go on because he's like, what would Pride Parade be like in the Emerald City? He's like, oh, it's Pride Parade every day in the Emerald City. Or
and it sucks because they have to answer these questions, right? It's like, or else.
I could be honest. That has nothing to do with the film.
they might believe it. That's the damnable thing about, like, the Penguin's a great show, but if you listen to what the showrunners think, you may not feel that same way when you see what they think some of the messaging means. Same thing with like Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. If you listen to what the actual actors think some of the things means, it's very different from our interpretations.
Interesting. That's the kind of shit I took a lot of crap for very early on. But anyway, I'm just gonna.
Maybe they should just, Tom, you're right, but maybe they should just give him a script. Like, didn't they used to do
what
that?
Did I say? I said they see Trump as an allegory for Penguin, and everybody's like, no, wait. You guys aren't seeing this. They see Trump as this weak, little, insignificant person who is doing nothing but wants to get power. So that's like, you guys got to think like them for 5 seconds. Sure, they can still turn off some good shit. Yeah, and a mommy fetish on top of it all. Like, whatever else. I didn't watch the fucking show. Why? Because I hated the Batman. Right? And I think the only reason the Penguin was any good is because Matt Reeves had absolutely fuck all to do with it.
Could be. I could agree. I can't believe you sent me that. I thought it was a joke. That's why when I saw I clicked the link Tom sent me, and it's real. I'm still stunned. Somebody actually asked the same question.
Dax Shepard, of course.
There is zero correlation between Penguin and Trump.
Can't believe it.
No. We know that, but it's how they view it.
Right.
So
that's what I've been trying to say.
Yeah.
Now I want to bring up, since we've seen so many things, been going woke, but I still see, as Tom always calls it, the last three. Well, gaming, I don't know how many people here have played D&D in their lives, know about D&D, know about Wizards of the Coast. I played since I was 15.
I showed my die.
Cool. I like that. That's the way to go. Well, I really like the fact that Grums, he's always on top of everything. He's a gamer. And he put up a post, because this is, I believe, the 50th year anniversary for Dungeons and Dragons, and we have Wizards of the Coast who owns them. And the post that he put up was for, I think, their new player's handbook. And it basically shits on the original creator, Gary Gygax, and talks about the first player's handbook and how it was misogynist. So Musk responds, which I thought was a beautiful thing.
It also has an anti-white bias. There's only 17 pictures of a white male, and there's over 130 plus of all the others. And yeah, they turned orcs into Mexicans for some reason.
What? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, they turned orcs into Mexicans.
Bro, including a gordita, abuelita up on the rocks and sombreros and shit. Yeah, they really did turn them into Mexicanos. I don't know why. It's a whole thing. That 2024 book. And yeah, and all the originals, like Gary Gygax and all that, they insinuated were all racist, basically, and calling a fighting class the fighting man. Obviously it's a rule book. You have to have terminology to use in your campaigns, and they cited them like they believed all this. It was the height of disingenuous.
What I liked, and Badger's absolutely right, what I liked was Musk's response. So Musk was a gamer at one point. I'm not talking about video games now, just Dungeons and Dragons. And Musk comes back.
We said it right there at the top.
Where was it?
At the very bottom right there. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards?
Oh, right, here it is. There you go. Because I had it separate in another screen.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons and Dragons. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and WotC? May they burn in hell. Now, Fletcher, if you can, I'm actually going to do it here real quick. One of the things that I wanted to do on the show as time goes on is everybody in the chat, everybody in the audience, you all have a hobby, a passion, something you love, something you know really well. You're an expert in a field. And so I actually know an expert about Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. And I'm going to send him the link here, and I want him to join us for 5 minutes because I want him really to explain and to talk to us about what the hell is going on with Wizards of the Coast. Because when you read through this was part of the release. If I can see, I can't make it any bigger. Hold on, let me see if I can open it in the new tab, if it'll get bigger. They basically go on to explain, it won't make it bigger. They basically go on to explain how, what Badger just said, this was made only for whites. It was misogynistic against women. Everybody, if you weren't part of the certain in-group, you were out. Anyway, let me get this here real quick.
Yeah, and if you want to share my screen, I have what the Mexicano orcs look like in the 2024.
There you go.
You got the sombreros, the culture, the septum, and the shaved head on the side. They did the whole thing.
They went crazy. Didn't they make it even? Didn't they have, who were the bearded dwarves?
Yeah,
The
no,
bearded-
everyone got a glow up of modernity in that new rule book.
Hold on, I'm trying to find where the hell this link is. For some reason, here we go.
Wizards of the Coast, also the people that made Aragorn black in the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh, they've completely destroyed it. There's no two ways about it. Paul, until we get this link up here, did you see Gladiator 2?
I did not.
Who here saw Gladiator 2? Because I keep watching this reference keep running around called Glick, and I don't think this is a Barbenheimer repeat. Glickhead. Okay, yeah.
Yes, and they are trying to make it a Barbenheimer thing. It's just
Yeah,
to
they're
me,
trying
I'm
to
like,
make it that.
stop. Just stop.
Gladiator 2 will not hold up its end of the bargain.
No,
At all.
Will
exactly.
make money.
I was just going to say, have you seen Gladiator? And then your answer is yes. I'm like, okay, well, then you've already seen Gladiator 2.
It's exactly what we thought. Gladiator 2 is a worse version of Gladiator with 30 extra minutes in the beginning and the end.
It's the
They
most
all play
expensive
versions.
straight-to-video sequel ever fucking made.
They all play versions of the
I've not
characters
seen it
from the first movie.
but
It
I've
does
seen
have,
it.
but
It's
it does
confirmed.
have a CGI'd version of Burt Reynolds in it.
What?
The CGI baboons was a great one.
Crazy Paul.
Spoiler.
Once again, proving my point, man, that Ridley Scott has lost it.
No, and Paul Mescal, I'm sorry, is a charisma vacuum. It could, if it had been maybe like an Aaron Taylor Johnson or someone else, but
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anyone, yes, sure, I'll take that too.
And Joy, yeah, it's not working. We're gonna have to do that part next week. What I'm gonna start doing is things that people have a specialty in and expertise in. I'm gonna bring them on to join us for a few minutes to explain it, you know, to share, to jump on the panel, because I think there's nothing better than having the chat involved. So other than that, what do y'all think? I want to go around the horn as we start to wrap this up. What do y'all think about Trump's nominees? I noticed that the media has picked up the whole Me Too thing again, how they're trying to go after Pete Hegseth, you know, for defense secretary.
Yeah, that's what they always do, man. Yeah, they always go after them on a Me Too level. Let's go ahead and try to say they sexually assaulted somebody, 30, 40 years ago or whatever. It's the same old playbook. I don't think it's going to work this time. I think, again, because Trump won the popular vote, he has a strong mandate to get his, his agenda across. I think, most of these guys are going to get through without a problem. I think they've already thrown up Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz dropped out. So that was the scalp they were looking for. They may try with Tulsi Gabbard and try to ramp up some angst against her. But I think everybody else is going to make it through okay.
No, I can't stand. I see Empress is saying, I can't stand Me Tours. I want to air it so we can squash that, nip it in the bud. I didn't like the fact they tried to use that strategy. I agree with you, DA, by the way. I didn't like the fact they tried to use that strategy with Matt Gaetz, and then they're doing it with Hegseth. When you actually go and read the police report, what you find out is that Gaetz, right? Not Gaetz, Hegseth, when he was at a Republican conference at a hotel, he basically got drunk. His ass got drunk. He got picked up by a woman. They went back. She was married. Her husband was down the hall in the hotel room with their kids, and she went and banged the dude.
Nice.
Now, a few hours later, she tells her husband that she had met Pete Hegseth, the Fox News anchor. She had fallen asleep in his room as they were talking because she was like fangirling all over him. When you break it down, when the police had gotten involved, they at one point were considering charging her. They asked her to make a pretextual phone call, which is, hey, you really were abused by him. Will you please pick up the phone and call him? We're going to be recording. Ask him, why did you hurt me? Why did you take control? She refused to do any of that. Now, some people are like, well, maybe she was emotionally scarred. They went through the video. They went through the bar. They went and interviewed the patrons. They were like, did he look like he was compass men? They're like, he was drunk and passed out. She was basically carrying him. They went through the entire thing. What they're trying to hang this on is the fact that a year later, she got an attorney who was like, we're going to sue you. We're going to go to court. We're going to go to the police. The police wanted nothing to do with it. They cleared Hegseth. And Fox News was like, we are taking charges. We need to settle this or we're firing your ass. I was talking to Verbal about it this week. I was like, how many people in Hollywood or in media get an allegation made against them, and the first thing they do is settle because they don't want to deal with it? It was
Michael
that
Jackson
common?
is one of the prime examples of this because Sony made him settle.
Right.
But you know what though? It's commonplace though. Like these companies just want this. They don't want this dragged out, because the longer it's dragged out, the worse they look. So they want to settle it as quick. So even if you're innocent, most people will just settle to get it over with.
And what about you, Paul?
It sucks. I mean, I believe in fighting, but
Right,
you
I
know,
agree with you.
But companies, corporations don't want to do that. They want it quick and easy. And sometimes the quick and easy way is to pay out.
Have you seen that also, Paul? In your time,
I've settled all the time. That
like you don't fight it. You're
He
saying
hasn't paid me shit yet. He's lying.
I settled.
I know. Tom told me about what happened. Can't believe you did that to him. All that touching. Jesus.
He still sends me pictures.
I don't want to be known as a sexually active person, so I settle.
So you
His wife
Also,
will
by the way,
expect too much out of him. That's the problem.
If this guy was passed out and she had to carry him, bravo to him for being able to still get it up, man. I mean if he was like passed out, I mean, and he was still able to perform his duties, I mean,
he's like, I want him as defense secretary.
Well, if it is passed out,
muscle
that's
memory.
That's
It was muscle
technically
memory.
grape. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, why isn't anybody looking at it from that perspective?
Oh, I didn't also mention the fact that in the report, she mounted him.
That's my
Of
point.
course, I mean,
She
But
is
that's
the aggressor here. She is taking.
Yeah.
Now reverse the roles. If anybody, it would be a Bill Cosby situation if it was reverse roles, right?
Oh yeah.
Why isn't she being fucking charged? I don't understand this. This is the biggest
living the
hypocrisy
dream.
I've seen and this drives me fucking nuts every time I hear one of these stories. No, I'm not even joking in a joking way. Like, as
I
somebody
believe
who's
you.
been falsely accused, and luckily I had the fucking receipts to prove it. Bitches be crazy, and they will try to say any fucking thing they want to, and they have no recourse. Right? Like, they never get in trouble for it. You never get in trouble for filing any false reports like this. It's bullshit. And
What bothers me
I'm
is
sorry.
the luck that he had of finding a chick there, just willing.
dude,
right
we
there.
had a Wonder Woman movie where she raped the guy and no one said anything about it.
No one
Oh,
said shit.
1984. Yeah, that was horrible.
She
No, we
completely,
have-
she completely raped the guy and no one said anything about it.
Well, we
That's
have
just
Rachel Ziegler graping our minds every day, and we say a lot about that.
That's very true.
I can't.
Weird.
Come on. Did anybody see that leaked Snow White trailer? Because you must have
Oh,
seen
it's
it.
bad.
Oh, I just sent you
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
in the background. It's not leaked anymore. They officially released it, but
When?
they even turned off comments on Twitter.
Today?
I just sent it to you. Yeah, it's in the background here, like earlier.
Oh,
You know
I
what though?
didn't see it.
Here, you know what? Plus side, glass half full. We won't have to deal with her much longer. Her career is over. This will be the last thing she does.
If
And,
you
I
could-
mean, well,
I hope
for
so.
the big screen, she'll probably do some Lifetime
Yeah,
movies.
like
or something.
OnlyFans and stuff like that. But other than that, she's done.
OnlyFans, she's a pencil in a dress with a unibrow. What are you talking about?
That's
Oh,
a
you
good
mean she
point.
looks like a little boy? Yeah, there's no interest in that in Hollywood whatsoever.
I forgot.
Hey, you know what though, George? Some people like the yellow starburst, man. I'm just saying, you know, hey,
Yeah.
there's something for everybody, is all I'm saying.
There's something for everybody.
Some people like the pencil in the dress look. Not me personally. I like ass, but I'm
I
just
love
saying.
ass. I like Ruben ass. Hourglass. Women, women, not the look
Women.
like little. There we
Sydney
go.
Sweeney's of the world. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney got us.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney. Okay, I've been asked this 3 times. We have watched it. Paul, did you see Unification?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay. Badger, DA,
Yeah, I have seen
Yes.
everybody's seen it. I'm gonna play this for 5 minutes. Well, I have to grab something because I want everybody
Just
to
be
enjoy it.
careful.
Yeah, they'll
Which?
block you. They'll
Robert
Really good.
Myers-Burnet's had some issues with him, although a toy did show up in my chat the other day, which was weird, but yeah.
Okay, well then what I'll do is I'll do it like we did it Wednesday for those who missed it. I will do it, and every 10 seconds every 20 seconds. What do you think, Tom? 10 seconds, 20 seconds? I can do
that
it.
should be all right. I think.
Okay, we'll do it. Now, if you cry, it's not the onions, it's not the dust in your room, it's because it's just fucking beautiful.
My eyes sweat. My eyelids. Sweat. I have some
keep a
thoughts about
stopwatch
this.
if you want.
What? Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a counter at the bottom there. Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha. Who is this? Is the question I was going to ask.
Isn't it Pike?
Is that
What's his
supposed
name?
to be?
Charlie X or whatever his name
Oh,
is.
this
isn't
is
it?
not Charlie.
Not Charlie X. From the original show, but I can't remember his name now. Yeah.
I thought it was Pike.
No.
No.
This is the guy who went through the storm with not Laura Dern, with the other
Gary
woman.
Mitchell. Gary Mitchell.
Yeah, Gary Mitchell, and the blonde woman was.
Is he the one that becomes God, basically?
Yeah. They both
kind of
become
like
gods.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Because
the
her
rock-
eyes turn silver
rock-
or whatever.
rock falls on him. But why start with him?
Is this the long version with all the parts cut together? Or is this
No,
just the
I
regular
don't
version?
have that one. I can't find it.
I do, but that's what I was worried about because I think Regeneration is the one that's getting everybody in trouble.
I don't have the supercut that Robert made. He put it up and then it got.
I wouldn't show it because that's what he keeps getting in trouble for. I think it's because of Regeneration, that part of it. Because that part is not even on the Yotoy website for some reason. And I tried talking to him in private about a lot of this stuff, but we just caught him in the chat and they were answering a few questions and they disappeared. So, but I did get out of it that this was made in tandem with Paramount and actually per their parameters. So it is technically quasi official.
Don't tell me what's his name approved this. Like he was involved.
I don't know about Kurtzman, but basically here's the other thing that like Anna and I were talking about last night is I think the unification part also means they're unifying all the timelines in this.
Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah.
Because that one creature is from Discovery and yeah.
Don't like that. No.
But surprisingly, not much of this is actually CGI. A lot of it's prosthetics and makeup.
What are you talking? No, you're not talking about the set. You're talking about
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer's.
Yeah, Sam Witwer and all that stuff. Yeah.
Why is Kurtzman furious with this? Griffin is saying.
I don't know about that, but
probably because it showcases people that he doesn't like in a good light. This is Michael Burnham.
It's like Kurtzman seems to be the Kathleen Kennedy of Star Trek.
Well, he said it's a platform for his ideology and messaging, not to tell good stories, which would have unironically pushed a better ideology.
You mean getting more fans, getting more customers, making more money, making people happy? Wow. God forbid.
No. Star Trek used to make you think, and now it tells you what to think.
There you go.
We've gone full circle.
Yeah.
See, to me, that he looks great there.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, but they said something that they used AI plus some type of prosthetic that you could overlay.
no, it's almost completely prosthetic, actually. But yeah.
Oh, the whole.
When I saw the behind the scenes, it looks like Sam Witwer in a wig. It does not. And then like it's a digital prosthetic, but
digital prosthetic. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit uncanny valley here, just a touch.
There is some shots that are uncanny valley. Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Where the hell does that phrase come from? I've heard it all weekend. I've heard it before, but I've never asked. Uncanny valley. Like, is there
for CGI terms, right? Of like what looks like real but like unnerving. It's like cursed, almost unnervingly real. Uncanny valley.
Actually, it comes from the 1970s.
There you go.
Japanese robotic Masahiro Mori.
Okay.
The theory is that something becomes more human-like, people positive response to it increase up to a certain point, and then the response becomes negative.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a psychological phenomenon.
It's cool to know because I've
encountered something that is almost human but not quite human.
Gotcha.
I feel like I should have said that like Kirk. It's almost human, but not quite human.
Only when you pose. Okay.
See, like right there was just a little bit of the subtle movement. I could tell it was CGI, but otherwise, a lot of these shots are really, really, really good.
Yeah, and that's Spock's son, right, with Savage?
Yes, yes. Okay. Sarek or whatever his name is, I guess.
I mean, to me, look at that. I mean, my emotions get to me when I watch this because not one word of dialogue. They talk with their eyes and their expressions. I haven't missed.
I like the moment of realization on Kirk's face where he's like,
yeah.
"Oh, Spock, you devil."
Yeah. This guy, I have no clue who he is. I've seen this 6, 7, 8
That's
times.
the Star Trek Discovery character, and that's where this could be a unification of all the timelines, because I guess he can jump dimensions.
And that's probably why the only reason why Kurtzman was okay with it.
But why does he wear Generations uniform? Is that what they were in Discovery? I've only seen one Discovery episode.
I'm thinking it's supposed to be timeline appropriate as to where they would have been in that timeline.
Okay, makes sense.
Because if you notice everywhere that Kirk
the
goes,
next generation, right?
Yeah.
Well, timeline wise, where they would be, it'd be damn near the time of the next generation as far as how old Savik is and all that stuff. Yes.
Because this was for the 30th anniversary, wasn't it, of Generations, or was it 25th? I can't.
30th.
It was.
30th?
Yeah, and it was also technically as a send off to Leonard Nimoy, but yeah.
Okay.
Because this is actually like almost 3 years in the making or whatever, I guess.
3 years for this?
Well, the whole thing together, because there was like other parts to it, the earlier parts, which are real short compared to this, and they had like Spock and some other bits in it that just kind of lead into this.
Okay.
But like, yeah, they don't really reveal anything that I could really tell. I mean, but again,
Is there something that has them all together? Is that what was Robert's supercut?
Yeah, I have a version of it, but I don't want to show it because, like I said, I think the middle part, the regeneration or whatever, is the one that's getting everybody in trouble.
Gotcha.
There might be something or music, something in there, or something that's getting nailed. I don't know.
Okay.
That's cool.
I love the way old Kirk, young Kirk, original Kirk looked. Oh yeah, War Monkey. I love the original Kirk, the way he looks here. Original series. Did you like the way Kirk looked? The original one?
Yeah.
Original series. I thought that was some of their best work. Just beautiful.
A little smooth, but yeah.
Possibilities, Spock said.
And if Genesis is indeed life from death, I must return to this place again.
The godless Vulcan asks, so is this the Nexus? See, I had a few people say that to me too, but I guess that character from STD says that it's not. It's basically, or it's like him being pulled out of the Nexus by that character and then sent to another dimension. I don't even know how to explain it. So he's basically in the Kelvin timeline now is where he's at.
But I thought once in the Nexus, you're always in the Nexus.
You're always a part of the Nexus, yes. And that's where that made more sense to me at first. But like, because you're supposed to be able to travel to any time, any place, anywhere, even times that never existed.
Oh, that's weird.
Because like, you remember there's that morning where Picard finds Kirk is the morning where he initially leaves.
Right.
To go back to Starfleet, but then he changed it. He said, this morning, though, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay here.
That's right. It's
Then
going to
where
change.
he realizes it's still not real, though, and that's what makes him come and help Picard. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but once you're a jet, you're always a jet.
Kind of sounds like the finale of Lost.
Oh, good point. See, I think that looks phenomenal for.
Well, this might be one of the prosthetics too, because like in the regeneration, the middle episode, the guy that is doing the Spock stand-in or whatever you want to call it has the prosthetics on, and none of it was CGI at all. It was all prosthetic.
Okay. It is
in that
something about
part.
the
I don't know
eye.
about here, but yeah.
Max, I get it. It does it to me all the time too. Watching this, it's a beauty.
Did you see the new Jaguar ad? I know. That's what's killing you.
I love the choice of no dialogue throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing.
I agree that it's just so powerful. It shows you how great visual storytelling can tell a story, and the score and the talent.
Well, I mean, with characters that we still care about, that's really my biggest problem with this piece.
Okay, which is
like
you don't
maybe apart from Generations.
Mhm.
What new characters has anyone created that we care about?
Oh, none that I know of.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I watched, like I said, one episode of Discovery, and I was out. I watched a couple episodes of Strange World. I was like, yeah, nope.
I mean, as much as I liked, Deep Space Nine, I'm not feeling, any emotion with Cisco to this level.
Yeah.
I like him. I thought he was great.
Like Cisco.
Like in Voyager, I remember watching it and just I didn't connect to any of those characters.
Nope.
But I did love Cisco. I mean, when we're talking Deep Space Nine,
he was good. He was great.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting, Scott, Bones, and Kirk were the triumvirate. They were the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I mean, this was.
Well, and that's partially the point I was making the other day is this is great. I love this, and I can see where people are getting emotionally invested in. If anything, this makes the Luke moment in Mandalorian look like absolute dog shit, even though I was obviously not one of the people who was overly sold on that bit. But that being said, I wonder if our reaction to this isn't more so because Star Trek has sucked so badly in the last 5-10 years. Is that why we're reacting this way?
Well, that and we lost Nimoy, so I mean it's
too, yeah. Because otherwise, I feel like this would just be, if we actually had good Trek right now, it'd be like, oh yeah, this is cool, but it'd be basically no more than a DVD special feature, right? It's kind of a cool little thing.
You don't view it as like, even if Trek was really
I
good,
think it's having more
good
impact
tribute. Oh, I see.
Because of how bad Trek is doing right now. And hopefully that Paramount gets the message from this. They see the reaction to this. And if they aren't, they're blind as a bat.
I thought they would get it with season 3 of Picard.
They kind of did, but you still had Kurtzman running interference there.
I'm telling you guys, man, a lot of people need to lose their jobs over the next couple of years.
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of people, especially in Hollywood, need to lose their jobs.
I'm there with you.
Possibilities.
But also, I think the downside of this video is it does remind you how shitty Star Trek is right now.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my point.
You could have done one for Luke and had the same effect, and we would just been reminded that they butchered Star Wars too. Like,
yeah,
we just want to see our heroes treated with respect, and yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I'm going to read these 3 super chats, and then we will wrap up. All right, Fletcher, bring them up. Abduleo for $10. I'm with you, Tom. The fact it's tied to Sparklebat. White guilt automatically makes that show a turd. I don't care how well made it is, like making a prime steak and placing it on a plate of crap.
Ooh, yeah.
It's sad. Yeah. It's round. Thank you, Abduleo. I hope I said that right. Chant of the Muldaya for $10. Given a choice between something made for me done poorly versus something 100% not made for me whatsoever done well. Wicked 3D it is. Legends has it I'm not a woman, but that is a confusing debate. I didn't even know it was out in 3D.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't have
Also, you know, I think it needs to be stated, man, just because something is good doesn't mean it's meant for everybody, right? It's like there's tons of great movies that are definitely, like, by definition, great films and have been voted greatest films that I could care less about because it does nothing for me, right?
Okay.
So just because something's good doesn't mean it's going to be for you or that you're going to like it.
I get that. That makes sense. Like I said, I won't rain on anybody's parade if you're enjoying it. Never.
Don't forget the sing along version is coming in December.
Yes,
sing-along
talking to you. Specifically you, because yes,
talking to you.
Yes,
I'm
talking
talking to you. I didn't even realize it was a 2-parter movie. I was like, yeah, I thought
I'm curious how many people are going to start griping about that this week, George. It's funny you brought that up because did I tell my story about Horizon last time we were here?
No.
Or anytime before? Because this is what I was wondering how people are going to react to this, because Universal is not advertising this as a 2-part film. And they did the same kind of thing with Horizon. And walking out of Horizon, I noticed there was like this group that must have been from like a church or something like that, because there's a bunch of elderly couples and stuff. Or not elderly, but older couples, I should say. Like Paul's age. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, they were all look like really confused. And I'm like, okay, I got to explain to these people what's going on here, because they obviously have no idea. Because if you've seen Horizon, you know that near the end of the film, it just kind of turns into this trailer without telling you.
It pisses
and then
me
all
off.
of a sudden just kind of just wraps up, and you're just like, okay, what's that all about? And so I turned around and I told him, I was like, all that bit at the end that was kind of like weird. I'm like, that's just previews for the movie, the second part that's supposed to be out next month, which at that time it was supposed to be out a month later. So
Right.
they're like, oh, okay. So then that's clearly why they were confused. So I'm curious how many people are going to be pissed about this when they find out they just sat through a 3-hour movie to have to come back.
Well,
for
no,
more.
Tom. When the movie starts, when the titles come up, it says part 1.
So does Horizon.
Then people should know there's to be a part 2. Then
Actually, I take that back. Actually, Horizon says chapter
part
1. That's
one,
the
and then it
problem.
says to be
Chapter
continued.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, if it says part 1, people should know there's going to be a part 2. Like Dune, right?
Yeah.
Dune part 1.
Have you forgotten that people today have an 8-second goldfish brain for attention span? They're like,
But I was going to say, we live in the world where we're where Paramount's freaking out going, well, we can't make the second part of this 2-part Mission Impossible movie seem like a second part now because people, it's like, you've already, the boat has left.
The final.
They want to, because they don't want to end it. They don't want him to end it. And then, because Cruise changed his mind. You know, he said this was going to be the last one. And then after Indiana Jones, he's like, why? I can continue doing this like Harrison Ford till I'm 80.
They literally left the last film on a cliffhanger, though.
Yeah,
I know. The Hollywood is like in complete disarray right now. That's kind of my whole point. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, Kill Bill did it, but it set itself up as this is part 1 of a part 2. It was like part of the marketing.
Yep, absolutely. A serious man for $2. Vanetti extorted Nike because they usually settle. Okay, I got it. I just don't like settling. I understand they do it in Hollywood. I understand you get a lot of millionaires and billionaires to do it.
Well, not just Hollywood, man. Every company
In corporate America. But when you're not wrong and the truth is on your side, I just like don't settle because that seems like it just stays with them forever. Look at this. Fox thought that they would settle with Hegseth and that would be the end of it. Well, years later, he's coming up to be defense secretary, and look, it's hanging over him. How does he explain that to everyday mom and pop and John and Jane Q citizen? We're like, yeah, I had to settle because this is the standard practice in corporate America and media. But I really didn't do anything. You know what I mean? It's a tough sell to people because they're like, where there's smoke, there's fire. All righty. This was a beautiful day. I always love getting together with y'all. Let's go around the horn. Verbal, what are you doing this week? And where can they find you?
I will be doing Versus tomorrow on Film Thread, talking about Wicked and Gladiator. I'll probably be dropping a few videos this week as well. And I don't know, might pop up on other shows this week. Don't know yet.
Yeah, we have Wednesday.
And yeah, we have Wednesday. So yeah,
it's gonna be
Versus
fun.
Monday, me and George Wednesday.
And Thanksgiving, anybody have any special plans? Except
Eating.
for the Canadian. You
We're
already
done
had
with
your
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you already did your
Trying to avoid politics with the fam.
Oh no, that's going to be the best part. That's
Not
the
with my
best.
old man, no.
Oh, that's where you kind of like. It's like I can't say that on there. Okay, I got to take that back. It is fun. Hey, Greek life for $10, always the best. George, keep it up. Thank you so much. Your support is wonderful, and we're gonna keep it up. We're gonna keep moving forward. Love it.
Well, I'm going to walk into Thanksgiving, man, with a cape on, with a crunk goblet full of wine, my big Trump hat on.
We're gonna have the big T here. I cannot wait. But Paul, you got to convince Canada. It's like you have to catch up to America.
Our election is October next year.
Oh God! Hopefully,
Hey, get him out of there, man. Get Trudeau out of there.
Yeah,
and make sure
gotta
his
go.
I don't
Just
understand.
come up with a coalition and take charge again anyway. That's a fun thing they can do.
I'm
He
just.
has got to be the most
gotta come here, Paul.
worthless human being on the planet.
He's going for that award. And
He's literally he's the Gavin Newsom of Canada.
Oh
Yes.
man!
Well,
I saw somebody say that. Was that you? Somebody else said
That was
and I
me,
like,
yeah.
that was perfect, man. You said it perfectly. Yeah, he is the Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, and like as I mentioned at the beginning, every politician kind of runs out of steam, and he did some good things. I'm not going to say
Really?
he didn't. Yeah. You can.
I don't know. But everything I read, I see that it's horrible for Canada. That's why I didn't
Are you
know.
saying there were good people on both sides, Paul?
Yes. Wow.
I
never thought I would hear you state that of all things.
I am saying that both the Ku Klux Klan and the SS have good people on both sides. Is what I'm
They
saying.
have their good points.
They have their good points. The at least Trudeau, got the moose to run on time. The Verbal and DA. I'm going to be in LA with Script Doctor December
cool.
9th. And I left a link to me because I'm no longer using X and I can't get hold of you anymore. And so at the very top of the list,
Yes, I took pictures of your phone number, and I will be spamming you inappropriate pictures.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Badger's
will be
local too.
of badgers, of angry badgers.
Yes, of angry badgers.
I will be
Actually, pretty
forwarding it.
congenial.
I'm going to forward it to the good people on both sides. So, they'll send you some messages.
So yeah, I'm going to be there with Script Doctor and hope to run into you.
Nice.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
we'll
Yeah, I'm writing it down. Taking it down right now.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm going to be there. I think I already told Verbal that's going to be in mid-January.
Where are you, Badge?
I'm in California.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
California.
I didn't know that.
Unbelievable. I didn't
Long
know
Beach,
that.
baby. Yep.
Long Beach.
Send help. When I say send help, I mean send help. Dante and I are all stuck here. Surrounded.
Help us, please. All right. DA, what you doing this week?
I got a couple of live. I'll be doing live streams all week. Definitely joining up with Versus tomorrow. I'll be on WDW Pros channel on Tuesday. I got my own live stream coming up later on tonight. I got videos coming up all week. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Of course, hope you guys enjoy your holidays. But yeah, I will be very, very busy this week. So yeah, look for me. I'll be all over YouTube.
He's going to be all over it. I love it. Please go follow his people. Also, go subscribe to everyone. Verbal is trying to hit 5K. DA has his goals. Angry Badger, what are you doing this week for Thanksgiving?
8,000 subs by New Year is going to be the one. Tonight, Diabolical Souls presents live with Gooch and Gang, and then tomorrow I'll be on Versus with the boys over here. And yeah, check it out. Maybe Thursday I'll do some sort of Thanksgiving stream, I think, in the evening for people that can't be with their family. But other than that, thank you for having me, George.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. And you, Tom, for Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Espanol, and Midnight's Edge Greek coming to you soon.
I didn't do it.
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, you can find me at all those places you just mentioned. And yeah, just a reminder that Midnight's Edge After Dark is its own channel. Check us out there as well.
Cool. Are you doing any?
I should be on Valiance, I think, here in a little bit. I don't know. I'll pop
Are you going to be doing a Thanksgiving stream? Anything like that?
Maybe. I mean,
I may do one.
I did get finally the greatest Thanksgiving episode of all time. So,
which is WKRP in Cincinnati. That's great.
Yes.
The complete.
God is my witness. I always thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on.
Probably one of the greatest Thanksgiving episodes ever for a sitcom. Yeah. Anyway, Paul, sorry.
I agree. I have nothing else to say. Where am I?
What are you going to be doing? I know you're
I'm bathing in the excess views of my latest Jaguar video, so I'm just going to enjoy that.
Okay. Well, I wish you a belated happy Thanksgiving while we enjoy our Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And to everybody, you've all been amazing. You got Jose Taco, good friend of mine. How you doing? Bob the Lobster's here. Max, relax. I wish you all. We're going to be back. I should be back tomorrow night. It's going to be just me where we go over pure politics. Not Hollywood, maybe a little bit, but just the new show that I've started every Monday. Has no name yet. It's just moi.
The show with no name?
Yeah, the show with no name. And then it's going to be Verbal, myself, and Tom might join us this Wednesday. I think it was a lot of fun last week on Slayer Unchained. And then Thursday for Turkey Day, I might do a stream for everybody who's alone. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, good luck, you Americans. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And
we will. God, I hate Black Friday.
Well, it's all, never mind.
I'm waiting for Tuesday. When are we going to have like Mulatto Thursday or something like that?
There's Tech Monday.
Yeah.
Tech Monday.
Yeah.
That's a new one. All right, I'm going to play this like I did last week because I love it, because it charges me up. I am looking for the full clip of God Bless America. So if anybody has it, please send it over.
With the fat woman, Kate, what's her name? God bless America.
I just I only have the tail end of this, and I love playing it.
Bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free of the
I fucking
bless
love
America.
her voice. I love her voice.
You know what? I think it should be illegal for white women to try to imitate Aretha Franklin.
That was not a white woman.
No,
not a white woman. Not at all. No. Also, I'm going to be releasing
I
my
misraced her.
You did misrace her big time. That means you're good people on each side. And it's been X'd out. You lost your points.
Look at Dante and they're just like,
what the hell's going on?
I know
here?
who she is.
Wait, yeah, because I'm like, I thought she was white.
Really?
No,
Isn't that
She
Tori?
looked like a at least partial sister to me.
Isn't that Tori? What's her name? What's her name? Tori something.
Tori,
I
nice
don't
voice. I don't know.
Good,
Come back next time to find out who did the racism.
You know, I mean, no, this is a good question. Maybe I should look it up.
Hold on. Let's look at her again because I don't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You started it, Paul. Damn it. How could you? Okay, yeah, I don't think so.
Well, there is. Sorry.
Tori Kelly, yeah, that's her name.
Look at that schnoz. It says
Good
pointy.
skin color.
She could.
There's Jamaican and Puerto Rican ancestry. Her mother is Irish and German.
Well,
okay.
All right.
Okay, so she's a mix.
She's a mix. That's cool. All
like all Americans.
Boricua.
She's a combo baby.
We got a little bit in there.
No, we don't cancel Chato
Skin color
here.
doesn't mean
No,
shit.
please don't.
Skin color doesn't mean shit. It just
No
matters
love
if
for
she's
the
got
light
soul.
skinned sister. Stop.
I was gonna say,
No love
it
for the
don't
light
matter.
skinned sister. Even though they try the hardest and they're the most militant, no love for them. That's messed.
It's like Tex-Mex. You know,
No, she's
it works.
good, man. She's a good singer. Either way.
Oh, yeah, she's
Any of y'all hear me sing the blues, y'all think I was born in a blues bar. So color don't mean shit. And
You're right.
I'm not even kidding.
I believe you have a great voice and you make do impersonations. Oh, I'm going to be releasing my Rachel Ziegler video this week. Be on the lookout. Probably will be out on Wednesday. Because, once I read that Disney actually came up with a reason for Snow White's name, because her skin is not as white as snow, it's because she survived a snowstorm as a baby. That's their update for it.
Oh, well, because she's, a Latina, it's because of the cocaine that she's bringing up from South America.
You mean, so you're saying that Snow White is a mule and the coke is in her coochie?
See, I would watch that movie. That movie I would watch.
Snow White, the tale of
Snow
and
Narco.
But can Angel Studios produce that? I don't know.
That's good. All right, everybody, have a blessed week. And to win every battle and stay true to yourself, all you have to remember is we never bow down, we never bend the knee, always forward.
That's right.